Hello. Welcome to Homebrew. Sorry, that's the first one we've gone live with Paul running and being like, something's not working. Oh shit, okay, we're just gonna go live. Go. Push you out of the airplane. Welcome to the show. This is our St. Patrick's Day special where we will be playing D&D as per normal. As you may have noticed, I'm not Ben. Ben is not with us. He's still alive, but he is off doing real world things. So I will be your dungeon master for this very special Paddy's Day one shot. Additionally, in a different spot, as you may notice to the lower right of the screen, we have Paul, who is normally behind the scenes plugging cables into other cables like those, like the ladies at the phone network cables in like the 1920s operator. But today we've let him out to come play. So Paul, good to have you at the table.
Hey, how's it going? It's good to be here. It's weird to be on this side of the camera, I guess.
Ben obviously just refused to be on camera with Paul. He was like, no.
Yeah.
I don't fraternize with the help.
The help. Okay.
Back in the box, Paul.
Like in no way do we help as well. That's very generous. Okay, if this is your first time watching the show, we play 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, and we drink at the table. The beers and places are semi-inspired by the beers we're drinking, and also we have a rule where you can affect the world by evoking the name of your beer or a word that's on your beer. So if you've got a beer called "Get Out of Jail Free," you might be able to escape jail. How more powerful it is, the more you have to roll. Kind of figure it out as we go. Hence homebrew, we make stuff up as we go. If you have played before, feel free to call us out on stuff we get wrong. We do Don't Be That Gygax Award. You can reach out to us on social media and tell us what we got wrong. And very importantly, tell us the right way to do it, because otherwise it doesn't count. And we'll give you a shout out on the show. To reach us there, you can find us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, here on YouTube. We are Homebrew Quest on any of those locations. You can also find a link to our Discord server pinned to the top of our Twitter. I feel like there's somewhere else we are. No, that's it for now. But we're, coming to other places. Before we get into the game, shout out to our buddies at Dakota Irish. They are an Irish company that make artesian dice trays, dice towers, dice, and plushies now, and stickers. I think they're expanding quite a lot. Friends of the nerds, really sound people, really cool craft gear. And if you enter Homebrew10 at checkout, you get a 10% discount off, because that's just how we roll. Yeah. No, I didn't like that one. That was gross. The show will get funnier as we drink. I should actually mention this will be an especially drink heavy episode. I promise other people will start speaking soon. I'm not used to talking this much at the open. We have special drinking rules for this Paddy's Day episode. We did it last year for our first Paddy's Day special. I'll run through them very quickly. We'll have them up on screen through the game, so don't worry, you don't have to write this down. Who takes notes when they're playing D&D? Cool. So this works for both players and me, the DM. I, the DM? Me. Players or DM will have to drink when they take damage or fail a check, which is rolling the die to see if you succeed in doing something. If you defeat an enemy, everyone has to drink. If you have a critical fail, which is rolling a natural 1 on the D20, you have to roll 1d4, 4-sided die, and that's how many drinks you have to take. And the one that kind of screwed us over last time, you can quaff half your drink to reroll any die. That's a damage die, the D20 to actually succeed in something. A lot of them were taken up on last time. So, and it works both ways. Like you can also force someone else to reroll a die. So if I roll making, big Mr. Evil Man, and he succeeds in stabbing Lucy, Lucy can down half her drink to make me reroll and potentially fail, which is dangerous for everyone. Cool. Before we get started into the action, let's go around the table and real quickly see what everyone is drinking. I'll go very, very quickly, and then I promise I'll stop speaking for a little bit. I am drinking Smithwick's Blonde Ale, one of my favorites, one of my staples, and a recent discovery, Lagunitas Daytime Session Ale, which is as close to soft drinks as beer gets. It's very, very light. I was about to say addicted to it, but that's not good. I really enjoy it. moving clockwise around. Lucy, what are you drinking this evening?
I am drinking a very kind of messy array of items, like some that I would often have, like acai.
Asahi.
What I'm having right now, which exploded when I opened it, was, how do you pronounce that? Wisser Hirsch? I don't know. Got a lovely little. I'm just, you see these guys and you just think, well, that's gonna be enjoyable.
Yeah, it's a proper beer when it's got the clasp.
Exactly. And then I got this one. I just love the can of. I thought it was beautiful. Ooh. Can. I haven't even looked to see what it is.
Is there a name on it?
Yeah, well, I assume it's this Kokomo. Oh, Kokomo. Yeah, dry hopped Berliner.
Oh.
Kettle sour. It's like a million words. Oh, Keelan, there's passion fruit in it. Okay, it's a Keelan drink then.
That's actually my whole thing.
Yeah, you love basically drinking salads, so that's what I think of.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
I would be very interested in a salad flavored beer.
Yeah.
But more because I have no idea. Do you get lettuce beers? I wonder, does lettuce ever end up as a flavor of things, or can you only buy lettuce to
I don't think lettuce has a flavor, does it? It's just crunch.
It's got something. All right. So what we need for now is someone to make a lettuce flavored something or a lettuce beer. Could be refreshing. A nice, crisp, refreshing lettuce beer. And then for Korean special, you could just do a kimchi beer. Maybe that exists. That's more likely.
Okay, well, I mean, let's try and bottle some of this lightning before it gets stolen, because that is genius.
Lettuce beer.
Yeah, the idea, the $1 million idea, bound to fail. Okay, so continuing the round, Paul, newbie at the table. What are you drinking this evening?
Yeah, so because of the rules, I decided that I'd probably get a yellow belly lager just for ease of sake. This is a like double shot of rum with orange juice. This is a cranberry with double shot of rum. This is my health potion, which is also a triple shot of rum and cranberry juice. Coke and rum. And Coke and rum.
That's what you normally drink when you're doing the tech, right?
Yeah, of course. This is how drunk I am. It's how easy it is.
That's just his 2 hours. That's just a 2 hour block of his life.
Yeah.
That's just what he needs to get through the next 2 hours.
Paul, are you drinking all the same rum, or are you mixing and matching?
So I'm mixing. So not mixing, but I've got to starters this kind of brown tiki glass. Has Captain Morgan's spiced rum. Then a couple of them. The potion has Havana Club 7-year, and then the other 3 tiki glasses have Kraken rum as well. So I did make a zombie at one point and had triple proof rum, which is like Captain Morgan's triple proof or double proof rum, which is 70% or something, or it's 100 and something percent. No, it's like 80%.
100 and something percent?
It's like 80%.
Sorry. Okay.
It's like double proof. It's like, so like usually rum is like 40%. It's double proof rum, which is like 80%, and you're only meant to put in like half a shot or something, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, so we might bend the drinking the half your drink rule for Paul. I think that's what the beers are for, but maybe not. We'll see how you get on.
Yeah.
You know what the rules were when he started and he got his drinks.
Yeah, I did. I did decide to choose rum, even though I knew the rules.
It's on him.
Cool. Okay. Moving on, Keelan, what are you drinking this evening?
Well, I have an array of beers, but what I've started with is a Shamrock Shake ice cream ale, which is just a special green St. Paddy's Day, drink. You'd think it'd be gross because it's a novelty drink. It's surprisingly nice. It's mint flavored, which I also didn't think I'd want in a beer, but has the, sometimes you go to the pub, you worry about your mouth and how it smells. When you drink a mint beer, it's basically just like having mouthwash, I mean, it doubles down. In fact, because of the color, it easily could be an alcoholic, but there's alcohol in mouthwash. Yeah, let's just say I'm drinking a fizzy, delicious mouthwash, and they might happy with me saying it that. And then just an array of beers. Let's see, a Metal Man with cherry, a Wild Zobo Goes pineapple, hibiscus, and ginger beer.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Yeah, this one I like the can of. It's just got a little like Pokemon thing, or some little armadillo. It's called a Captivating Creek Berliner Weiss with raspberries and cherries. 6.4%. You know what I realized I should have done is actually determined any kind of percentage cap for anything, or ordered them, or looked at what their percentages was. So I have no idea if any of these are high or low.
Yeah, it's a fun surprise.
And I'll just pick one and then down half of that, and then that'll make someone re-roll something. So it could get messy. But for the start, the refreshing, crisp, green beer.
It most definitely will get messy. I also have added something you said there to a little doc I have of when we eventually start releasing merch, because I want to remember the quote, you go to the pub, you worry about your mouth. Because that's just could mean many things.
Yeah, maybe it's late game being at the pub that you start worrying about things such as your mouth. But, it always happens to everyone. Everyone knows this is one of those universal things that I'm calling out. Everyone will be like, yeah, it's so true. He should, I'm always forever thinking about my mouth.
Okay.
Good way of describing Jeff first. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So before we get into the game, I think I've said that about 3 times now. One thing I meant to include in our list of announcements is you will see to the right of the screen a link to our coffee account. There's also a link in the description. You can go there, and if you'd like, donate to Masai Ireland. Is it Masai or Masai Ireland? Movement Against Asylum Seekers. Yeah, Masai. They basically help asylum seekers in Ireland, putting an end to direct provision. Really, really good people. We're not looking for coffee. We're just, if you want to help a charitable cause, that's kind of the one we recommend. And then lastly, it's not even an elephant in the room. To address, we basically we're talking about this episode as if it was going to be pre-recorded. That pre-record did not go according to plan. All of tech was just really against us, and despite our best efforts, the record just didn't happen. We got the first, I think, half hour recorded, and then just no. So the reason I say that is because we will inevitably end up referencing something that happened at the start. So we'll try and explain and not have like an in-joke that no one in the audience understands. But one of those things that came up in the game is the name of the town, which we were all quite fond of. So this one-shot will be set in the town of Bag of Cans, because it's just good fantasy name that fits with the aesthetic.
Solid name, yeah.
Yeah. Did we just say a bag of cans, or did someone have something?
No, I have a bag of cans. It's beside me, so.
Yeah, that was a literal bag of cans. Yeah.
Yeah, of the beers that are beside me, that's just a selection. There's like 20 other beers, random beers in that can, or in that can bag. So I've already had too much green beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ignore
If
me.
there is no other new business, we will get into tonight's special episode. Shall I stipulate this is sort of removed from our main campaign and not directly related to the previous one shot I ran. It's kind of a self-contained thing. So everyone is running new characters. We'll see how long they survive. So our story takes place in the town of Bag of Cans. Our 3 adventurers have been sort of roped into getting involved with the local resistance, trying to overthrow the hierarchical, the rich people in charge of the place. They're not slavers or anything like that, but they don't treat everyone particularly nicely. They don't like too much crack happening. Tonight is the crack festival. It's a tradition they could never really smother out, and they kind of allow it to happen begrudgingly just to keep, everyone following the rules. They realize that they can't have riot on their hands, so they're like, okay, you can have your drinks in your festival, but just don't get out of line. So you've been asked to meet the leader of the resistance in an underground basement. The reasoning being that there are crowds, so people are merry, so it'll be easier to recruit people to your cause or work under cover of chaos. You each have your own reasons for getting involved in this, whether it's to overthrow an oppressive an oppressive regime, whether it's for a bit of cash, whether it's for fame, whether it's because you're just bored. We'll kind of hand wave that unless you particularly want to explain it. So our story starts in the basement of a nondescript shack in town. There are cold stone floors, some small tables that are kind of ill-fitting. Looks like it maybe used to be a small, not too successful pub that's gone a bit derelict. The tables and chairs are kind of like the American high school chairs where the tables are part of it. No one really fits in them. It's lit by torches scattered around the room, and there's a gentle hum of arcane energy thrumming around you. Those of you with any experience in fantasy electronics would know that it's sort of an internal security system, just to kind of alert any intruders.
I like how you used nondescript and then described a lot.
That's kind of how I run things. You know, get used to more of that. This indescribable scene that I will now explain to you.
Yeah, at first I was like, different from Ben, nondescript. I like it. It's just a room.
The only time I'll ever run a scene and describe label something indescribable is if it's the smell, because I'm bad at actually describing smells. It's like it smelled like burnt odors. Like
I have noticed that you smell bad. So
yeah,
I can
a word smells bad. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, you smell bad.
I don't smell good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this is.
So the three of you are awaiting in the basement. You've kind of arrived at different times, and eventually a stout, not particularly young halfling with a round, pudgy face and a bowl haircut of blonde hair scampers in, because that's how halflings move. They don't walk. And he introduces himself to you, and he kind of like has a little a scrap of paper in his hand, and he's kind of like seems to be double checking and looking at your appearances and making sure that you've got the right people. And Lucy, he looks to you and looks back at his note, and he says, Corona Percul. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Perculia?
Yes. And I'm going to tap on a little name badge that I have created that says Corona Peculiar, which was the beer I was drinking the last time we were playing this. But I have long since drank that. But yeah, I'm going to tap a little name badge that I have made that had the building that we're in. It has like a little drawing of that I've made. So so that it can look like staff. And she's going to go, yep, reporting for duty.
And if you could just describe to the other players and the audience, what does Corona look like?
Yeah, she is. She's a large. She's a half orc. She's very tall, like burly. She's got some face piercings, some wild gray hair, some kind of greenish skin and purple eyes, and she's wearing what seems to be home fashioned barmaid uniform. Several of them layered on top to potentially use as needed. And she's got a kind of just a rag in her hand that she's like just kind of wiping the table, wiping the other tables, etc. And kind of just get like every now and again, like just going, looking at the clock and stuff.
You catch out at the corner of your eye that as he's looking at his note, he kind of writes a little asterisk beside your name and scribbles, has her own dish rag.
Oh, yeah. She was trying to impress him, and I hope she did.
It seems to have worked. He seems to he's made a note of the dish rag. Like that's a big thing in resistances.
Good.
As well as name tags. I mean, if you're going to have a secret resistance, you want the location that you all met to be clearly visible.
Yeah. Not enough name tags have pictures.
Yeah. Paper Trail is her alter ego.
Yes. No, I immediately know what she's known for. The halfling smiles and nods. He's like, "Thank you so much for coming," and turns to you, Paul. He's like, looks at his notes. He's Ren. I'm so sorry. My dwarvish isn't fantastic. You're Randir.
Randir Golrum. Yep.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying. And Randir, what does everyone see when they look at you?
Yeah, it's a mountain dwarf. kind of ginger hair or red hair with kind of braids in the beard and stuff. He's wearing kind of a long trench coat with got like armor plating kind of like patched around us and stuff. On his back is it's like a backpack that's like half a barrel, which goes with like scrolls and stuff like that poking out of it, and then like attached to that is a water skin that's like very hoppy smelling very easily from everybody here in the room, kind of thing. So yeah, he's just kind of just happy to be there, especially in a pub, like drinking and stuff. So
you notice that he writes on the piece of paper, brought his own beer. What wonderful! Thank you so much. We're the resistance is stronger for having you all here. Okay, and last, oh my goodness! And you see he like tilts his head up to look at you, Keelan, and he kind of does a double take of his notes. He's like, it just says 3 B's. That can't possibly. Is your name what? I'm so sorry.
Trip B.
Trip B.
Yeah. So you probably heard, you're like triple B.
Right. Of course. Yes. Of course. How foolish of me.
Yeah. It's a perfectly normal name. Back where I'm from.
And Trip B. What does everyone see when they look at you?
A very, very tall trench coat. Let's say like 6'5" trench coat. That's just the trench coat. So then a little bit more for the hat on top. Let's call it wide brim hat. So it's hard to see his face. And I would say the general, like, as people observe him, there's something off about how, you see him standing there and you think to yourself, something seems off, but I have no idea what it is. There's a kind of swaying to him where you notice that his belly almost sways in a slightly different direction to maybe his legs and the top portion, like which you'd never noticed in a person before, and you think to yourself, I guess that can happen. I guess that's what happens when you're really tall or whatever. You don't question it, but you do notice it does trigger. It's like seeing someone who's clearly had a haircut, even if you didn't know them, and you're kind of like, oh, there's something looks like a new haircut.
All of those familiar expressions play across this halfling's face, and you know well the steady progression of emotions people feel when they cast their eyes upon your horrifying visage.
I didn't bring a name tag.
Oh, that's okay. I've got it all down here. And as he turns his piece of paper, you can see he's written beside your name, sort of lumpy, but that's normal.
I'll take it.
Well, I won't waste too much of your time. Thank you all for coming to this resistance meeting. And he turns around and reaches for something that's not really there, and this sheet materializes. It's almost like he's pulling down a blind, and the blind is revealed as he's pulling it down. And there's sort of like a map of the town on it. He goes, okay. And he looks around as if something's missing, and he goes, oh, of course. He claps his hands. And those of you with magical affinities recognize that he's casting thaumaturgy, and sort of Ocean's 11 bongo music starts playing in the background, kind of gently, and he starts directing you to the plan for the evening. He's like, I'm not sure what your methods are, but you all come here with your own specialities. I'll leave the nuts and bolts up to you, but I can run you through how to free this town, and how to succeed, and how to make sure we have a good, clean resistance. You're going to need to hit three key points in the town. There's the tavern, there's the food market, and there's the town square. Now, in the tavern, the Hog's Hearth, you're going to meet a good friend of mine. She'll be able to help you out. Brittany the Barrel. She's a tough lady. Earned a lot of respect in the town. She'll be able to give you the tools you need to take down these guys. Of course, in the food market, there's a lot of the vendors. If you give them these ball bearings, they'll be able to cover your escape or your attack and stop reinforcements for coming in. And then lastly, there's the town square. That's where you're going to want to have the showdowns. It's a nice open space, but you can make cover there if you need to. You can kick over a cart or something, but you don't want to get caught in close quarters with these guys because they're not what they seem. And he does kind of mystically hands. Any questions?
Who are these guys?
Oh my goodness! I thought you'd been caught in. Did Mabel not catch you up when you entered? There should have been a lady, a dwarf lady up top that was supposed to check you in. Okay, I'm so sorry. Then
those people that think they're better than us, that run this town. That's who we're finding,
see,
right?
okay. Well, at least some of you are kind of up to scratch. So, okay, I'll start from the beginning real quick. First of all, I realize now that I didn't even introduce myself. I thought that Mabel had kind of run it through you. My name is Callum McAllister, of the clan McAllister.
Callum.
Callum.
Callum. Ah, okay.
I remember Keelan then. Keelan.
I wondered if I was somehow being mocked in some way.
I mean, it'd be a bit meta to like name an NPC after one of the players at the table. It's like, oh, wink, wink, wink.
Yeah, whose name isn't on screen, so it doesn't even make sense there.
I didn't realize that I was doing an impression of me. And it's so hard to tell.
I mean, it's clearly how you sound.
Yeah.
It's sort of nondescript, almost North American, but who's sure?
Yeah, that's how I talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay, real quick. I'm not sure. I just kind of assumed that everyone was aware of this, but the guys who run this town, there's the governor, there's all the whole police force. They're sort of shady looking guys. They're not really human, even though they might look it. It's the kind of thing where I can't really explain it to you, because words don't really do it. I don't mean justice. I mean it won't work. So that's why you got to find Brittany the Barrel. She'll help you kind of clear any illusions and give you the tools because you're not really going to be able to hurt these guys too bad without her. We're getting a bit Canadian now. It's sort of slipping away from me. Yeah, that's basically it. All you got to know is they're no good guys. They want to cancel the festival. All right, they're going to start cracking down, and I can tell you right now, some people are going to die if they get too merry and have a bit too much fun. And I miss when this festival used to get a bit wild. It's not really wild anymore. So I basically want these guys out of here so I can start partying again. You get it?
So you want it's a crack festival, and they're cracking the whip. Too much.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
100%. Okay, see this guy. Okay, now you're all on the same wavelength. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, so he gives you each a copy of a map of the town and kind of circles the locations of the tavern, the Hog's Hearth, the food market, and the town square. And you can basically approach any of these locations, or you can have a poke around and find alternative plans if you want, but you can approach them in any order you wish. And the plan, it's not a heist. The expedition, I guess, is yours to approach as you see fit. Mm-hmm. And also, I should say, because you guys are 9th level. Where did we land on this?
Ninth, I think. Ninth. Yeah. I hope we're 9th because that's what I am.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's right. I get mixed up because Arlington is multi-classed, so my big number is different. So basically, because you are you're not fledgling adventurers, you're experienced powerhouses. If you can justify having a particularly powerful artifact or a magic weapon or something like that, if you can justify with a little bit of lore behind why it's there, you are more than welcome to have something like that.
Mm. Good to know.
This is making me think maybe this dish rag does need to be a magic dish rag, but we'll get to that if it,
it can be a +1 dish rag. I'm okay with that.
I need to Google some stuff, I think. I don't know.
I can clean up this town, I think. +1 dish rag. Well,
that's such an old style.
I don't know about you guys, but I like the sound of being given a weapon that we need. That sounds very useful to me. So, and I happen to know I have worked in every pub in this town. I know them all so well. I worked in the Hog's Hearth several years ago. I know it like the back of my hand, and I'm going to prestigitate so that my what I'm wearing currently looks like the exact uniform of the Hog's Hearth.
I thought you were going to say, like the back of your hand, and you're going to prestigitate the back of your hand to look like the Hog's Hearth.
The Hog's Hearth.
See? Looks just like the Hog's Hearth.
And it's just a hog, like a pig sitting beside a fire.
Yeah. You just got
to guys, don't worry. I've got us covered with this tiny, cute cartoon.
I feel safer already.
That's what Iggy would. That's right up Iggy's approach. The pub. I definitely have a plan on going to the pub. Let's do that one first and meet. Yeah, you've been to a few pubs already.
Hey, it's the Crack Festival. Everyone, have you tried this green beer they got going? It's delicious. It's like mouthwash.
That's not how beers are meant to taste like. And
hey, look, I don't walk down to dwarf places and tell you how dwarf liquids are meant to dwarf.
Corona, your experience as a barmaid, and Randy, your experience with alchemy and rum, you're both 90% sure that Trip B is just drinking straight mouthwash, but you can't be sure. It's like there's a chance it is beer, but like that really looks and smells like mouthwash.
I'm the only one who smells nice. Let me tell you that.
Thinking like, well, at least I want him to clean that glass because he's apparently drinking cleaner. Okay. But yeah, sure. Will we hit the where? Are we in somewhere in the town? I think that Corona does at least think she does know this town very well.
Yeah, it makes sense that you'd be familiar with it. So you're basically in the basement of a shack that's sort of on the outskirts of town, not outside of it, but just on the fridges. So it's like maybe only a 10-15 minute walk to the Hog's Hearth. And as you travel there, you see that the festival's kind of started kicking off. And while the main festivities are in the town square in the dead center of town, there are people drinking in alleyways and just kind of, there are smaller taverns where you can hear people, singing and drinking and having the crack. And some people have already had a little bit too much and they're doubled over and throwing up in the gutters. And there are you actually walk past two elven women who are wearing these strange shoes with like a pointed heel, and they're moving like the speed they're moving, it's like they're almost about to fall over. They keep being so close to falling over, and somehow they're not. They're very wobbly, but they have this strange awkward grace. And from conversation, you kind of overhear that they're enamoring each other with like compliments and saying how beautiful the other one is, and then eventually you realize that these women have just met. They don't actually know each other, but they seem to be extremely good, gallant friends. And as you, sorry,
the way you were describing them walking, as I kind of left the pub and continued,
I was looking for.
I have a similar kind of gait. Slightly at an angle sometimes. You're like, I guess a really tall person might walk at that angle. As I walked through the door, I put my hands up on the door frame because I'm quite tall, and then kind of like the bottom of I moved forward with my legs and my stomach, and then kind of looped under. Is what it looked like.
Like, I'm just envisioning the Babadook. Like, that's just all I can think of. So you keep doing these charming things, and I'm like, I'm gonna have nightmares about this character.
Well, he's drunk on mouthwash.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna be like looking at the shoes of your, like the way that the elves are walking. I then look at the shoes of Triple B just to make sure that maybe they're wearing the same shoes or something, just to try and get some kind of like my.
Yeah, he seems to be wearing just regular fantasy shoes.
It's too long a trench coat. Trench coat goes down to the ground.
Okay, so they can't see your shoes. Okay, he could be wearing those heels.
Yeah.
Okay. It would answer some questions.
Yeah, stilettos.
As people are being a bit messier as we're going, I'm kind of just, if someone looks like they are like going to throw up or like they're being a bit too, I'm gonna just like kind of just give them little acid splashes to try and keep them in line a bit. Not trying to directly hit anyone. Like it makes me angry when I try and disrespect it.
I've realized why she's worked in all of the bars, but not any individual one for any length of time.
Like, I want to see the town and drinking culture respected.
Yeah.
And so, and I was excited to see the cantrip of acid splash. So,
So she's splashing random passerbys with acid. Fine.
Yeah,
not
it's
not
good.
not trying to hit them. Kind of like you might shoot the ground of an opponent to make them dance for you.
Okay. So warning.
Acid splashes on the ground in front of them, kind of like, hey, watch it.
See, I was thinking those like fun snaps things, but you went straight to the like dance, boy, dance.
Yeah, she's done.
Yeah,
She wants to clean up the town.
Yeah.
Like cleaning up the town is classic cowboy. I haven't heard it in a long time, and now she's gone to shooting the ground and making people dance. Another classic cowboy move.
I wasn't making people dance. That was just a visual for you to enjoy. No. I'm helping tidy.
All dancing anyway.
Yeah, Corona's got that like hard-boiled detective vibe, but she works in a bar. It's like, I want to clean up this town.
Exactly.
Filth. Okay. As you wander through the town, seeing these various scenes, but ensuring that no one gets too close to you, leaving a small trail of singed stone path behind you from your acid splash, and shockingly no casualties. You approach the stone tavern, the Hog's Hearth. Its broad door is swung wide open in welcome, and you can feel the warmth of a fire even before you enter. And as you step inside, you catch the tail end of a fast-paced rhythmic melody being chanted by a table of dwarves in the corner. You just about catch something about a rattling bog before a crack of laughter from one of the stockier dwarves sends the rest into fits of drunken cackles. You get the impression that maybe they didn't really know the rest of the words anyway, so he might have just saved their skin. The Hog's Hearth is filled with customers perched on hard wooden stools, shouting inches from each other's ears to be heard over the constant babble. The air is musty, thick with the smell of ale. Around here, it's quite familiar to you. It's almost like this is like more of a lab than a tavern. And there's a dense cloud of pipe smoke rolling across the ceiling, shying away from the open door as if put off by the cold night air. And in the center, you see a large, like round-shouldered woman arm wrestling an equally large dragonborn man, and there's like you can see like veins popping up out of their forearms, and like one of them has like their eye kind of half closed, and the woman just kind of is like grinning but very much grimacing as well. They're both like grr, and the table's kind of quivering a little bit. What do you guys want to do?
I want to leave and go to the next pub over.
Can I?
Okay,
Too loud. No.
I was gonna. Can I put a coin down on the table? But like I got next.
Okay, yeah.
I was thinking. Oh, sorry, what?
The table is like a little lower down than most, so like you, Trippy, have quite a hard time kind of like maneuvering yourself to reach down and put a table. Like you can reach it, but it's like it's a little more awkward than you'd like.
Yeah, it'll look odd. I'll look like you know, that I'm kind of. It should be that my knees are bending, but you don't really see the knees stick out that much. So I must be doing like a plie kind of ballet lowering. You know.
It's graceful.
Yeah, well, it must be graceful because you're not seeing a lot of knees sticking out. Sorry.
Okay.
It's you're almost like an inverse Mary Poppins bag, like kind of just like lowering down.
Yeah.
Or when you're doing like the fake elevator.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I don't actually go down that a huge amount when I try to lower it down.
Okay.
I'm going to take my rag if I can, walk in, seeing those women, and I'm just going to, kind of mop up the sweat on the one who's smiling's brow, and just go like, there you go, darling, you're doing great, yeah.
Yep, she kind of like turns her gaze to you, still kind of like smiling and grimacing, and gives you like a little wink with her left eye, and she goes like, appreciate it. And then looks to you, Trippy, and goes like, you got it. Get the impression she's like just kind of trying to pass this off as super easy, and the arm wrestling match continues. Do you guys want to get a drink or anything, or are you just kind of trying to see how this plays out?
Yeah, I want to ask these guys if they want a drink.
Cool.
Can I get you a drink? What are you having there?
Yeah. I mean, I should stay and watch in case I'm up next now. But a drink, anything. Anything goes. If they've got more of this mouthwash, I mean, they got more of this green beer. Ask for the special green beer.
Okay.
You were saying that it's like an alchemy, like is behind the bar, like loads of potions and apparatus and stuff like that.
It's more so like an alchemy lab in that there's a lot more spirits on the go than most pubs, and it's just this kind of like thick, like it's almost sulfur rather than cigarette smoke. So knowing your experience, it's not an actual lab. It's just like it feels like it is more in common with a lab than a pub to you.
Okay.
Like you feel more comfortable here than you would in a regular pub, strangely.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the bar with Krona.
Okay, well, I'm gonna probably try and make whatever. I'm gonna try and order your drink for you for sure. I'm like really gonna insist on asking Randir like, what can I get you? What can I get you?
Mead, a strong mead.
Mead, excellent. Yeah, excellent. So I'd like to order, and I plan on prestigitating a normal ale into just green in the hope that will fool this weird trippy over there.
Okay. The kind of scrawny human man behind the bar with a bushy mustache. He's kind of like just about catches dropping a pint glass when he sees you coming over, and he's kind of like a little bit hurried. Sets them down. He's like, "Okay, Corona, you can't. No, Corona, you can't come back here. Why? You don't work here anymore."
I'm helping. I'm helping. Are you saying you don't want help? Are you saying?
I'm saying I'm not paying you for tonight. No, I can't afford to keep paying you to do this.
I mean, okay. I mean, like, well, sure, you can pay me in the future. You can rack up a bit. I will put it on your service tab to me for my service, that is. And that's totally fine. Oh, honestly, it's grand. I'm just going to kind of reach over and, like, clean some glasses that he's already cleaned.
Yeah, he reaches to kind of stop you, but it's like he's very
there's maybe some acid splashing, just like... Right.
He yelps and jumps back. He's like... He just decides,
do you know...
Yeah,
do you know... you can help me with I've got an order for Brittany the Barrel. Can you just remind me which table she's sitting at?
Brittany's over there arm wrestling. He points to the large one you were talking to earlier.
Okay, yeah, just checking.
I think you've got some of her sweat on your rag.
I shake it out. This rag is immediately perfectly clean. What are you talking about? Ready to go to work.
Got it in my mouth.
Oh, you're always such a square. And I'm gonna just try and pour the drinks myself over the top of the bar.
He moves to stop you and then just kind of like gives up and goes off and starts like pathetically cleaning a different mug and pretending he can't see you.
Yeah, sir, can I talk to you for 1 second?
Yes.
I represent the Cave-In Brewing Company. I would love for you to buy new supplies of beer. Our beer.
He kind of slows down his cleaning. You with her?
If I say yes, is that going to hinder the sales?
Breaking glasses of making things.
He's like, he puts his hand up, so he's like actively not looking at you, Corona. If I do business with you, as long as I don't have to deal with her, then I guess it won't affect it.
She doesn't represent the brewing company. He takes Randir takes the water skin from his bag and like hands it to him and goes, "You could try this. It's called the Dying Light Ale."
Dying Light. Okay. He takes a swig. How does it taste?
It tastes awful. Like it's like
spits it back out. It just tastes like mouthwash. Oh, no, not mouthwash. Oh, it's so nasty. Oh,
is he being rude to you, Randir?
No, that's exactly what it tastes like.
He's being rude to me. It definitely doesn't taste like mouthwash. Mouthwash is delicious.
Let me tell you what's in it, sir. Lamp oil, rubbing alcohol, and moss from a cave-in.
None of those taste good.
But if you give it to the dwarves in the corner, they're gonna love it. And it's cheap.
That doesn't sound right, but I don't know enough about dwarves or dwarven culture to debate it much further. And you are a dwarf. I don't want to start, humansplaining to you. You serve it to him. If you can get one of them to drink some of this and come back without a black eye, then I'll buy from you.
Okay, he just immediately like, takes the water skin and walks straight over to the dwarves.
They've sort of started riling up to another song, but only some of them seem to know the words. And then closest to you, there is a dwarven woman with kind of long hair tied into a beard in front of her, and then another dwarf with a sort of dark, really long soul patch and strangely barren cheeks. They kind of like look at you with like half bleary eyes, like, "Hey lad,
I've got a drink for you guys," and he like starts just pouring the drink into their mugs, and he's just like, "Drink up."
They chug it down immediately and just kind of smile. He's like,
He immediately, I like turn and like gives a thumbs up to the bartender, like.
He weakly gives you a double thumbs up back. You can see he kind of like doesn't really expect this to go well. Do the dwarves enjoy it anymore?
They do, yeah. They do enjoy it slightly better than your man.
Yeah, I mean they're pretty polluted as well. So as long as it's not like engine oil, they kind of do knock it back, and they're like, "Hey." Actually, I'm going to get you to make a performance check just on your mixing ability to see.
Oh no!
Unless you've got a particular trait for this.
No, I don't.
I can down half a drink to make him roll again, right?
You can what?
Oh, I
can down half a drink to make him roll again.
Oh yeah. If you want to, you can affect his roll. You don't have to be there. You, the player, can do it.
I got an 18.
I'm gonna. 18. Well, no. Half my drink is a tiny amount. That seems cheap.
Do it. Do it.
I'll down this and then drink some more drink. That's the end of my mouthwash. Green beer. It was delicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You can drink a bit more of your next one. So, Paul, you're gonna have to re-roll that 18.
Why would you?
This is a perfectly petty one to make him real roll.
Well, I got a 5. So, I'm going to do half my drink to re-roll that 4.
We're already getting into this. Okay.
Yeah. I'd fire with fire, Paul.
This is what Ben and I learned was a bad idea last time.
Oh, was it you and Ben that had this back and forth?
Yeah, I can't even remember what it was.
That was worse.
What I was trying to do.
Oh no! What did you get?
I got a 3.
Okay.
Well, not gonna.
Okay.
No.
So the dwarves seem to enjoy it at first, just through sheer drunkenness, and then from behind you, it's actually Corona. When you look over, you can see this. And actually, Trippy, you can see from your angle as well. Randy are sort of giving a thumbs up, and then behind him, almost like a cross spray of beer being spat out, like. So it kind of looks like a very dramatic scene of just regurgitated beer, and the human behind the bar just starts cracking up laughing, and then like saying, "No, thank you, no, thank you." The dwarves have like after spitting out the beer are like they're like mid singing while the beer is still dribbling down their mouth, like they don't even seem that pissed about it, but they have no interest in drinking any more of your delightful beer.
That's fair. That's fair.
I didn't know this beer would be red, but it's red. It's a very colourful beer day.
It looks like really dirty tap water.
Oh yeah, I mean I shouldn't have put it in the glass that had the mint.
Oh,
correct.
It's a spicy berry sour, so it's a weird.
Welcome me over there.
Those are 3 separate flavors. You know that, right?
Well, I had to drink something quickly to make Paul re-roll, and as we can all agree, that was an excellent plan.
Yeah, I'm not debating that. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I literally got an 18. Like, why would you make me roll?
Hey, look, I'm about to arm wrestle, so you know.
That's true.
That's true. Okay, we'll cut over to Trippy and Brittany the Barrel, who has defeated the Dragonborn man in front of her, but it wasn't like a American action movie. Take that. It was like a slow and messy victory, and you kind of get the impression that maybe the Dragonborn lost because he sort of pushed to the point of straining something rather than Brittany had been holding back. So she wins, and there's a small kind of like hey from the surrounding tables. It's not like there's a big crowd surrounding it. People are kind of like craning over the back of their chair, and then in between rounds they're going back to their drinks. Like she's not a local celebrity, but it's a bit of action happening in the tavern. And the Dragonborn kicks the stool out from under himself and goes like, "You win this one, Brittany," and then storms off to the bar. And she kind of props up the stool and just kind of pats it and looks up at you and is like, "You want to arm wrestle a little bit?"
I'll have a go. I'll have a go. Yeah. I got some mouthwash. I mean, beer coming, but yeah, I'll have a go. I try to sit. So I go to sit down on the chair, and initially, it's like I'm sitting down with just my calves. Depending, I mean, it just looks like it's just weird. It's kind of like I'm standing on it with the long trench coat. It's hard to see. So then I sit down. There's some kind of rejigging of my body.
Wait, so do you kind of look like a lowercase J when you sit down?
Yeah. I mean, initially, but I realize I can't quite reach. It's surprising. I'm really tall, but my arms, they're not. I can't reach the table sitting down in my normal person fashion. So, I'll rejig to a more normal position, but it almost looks like. It almost looks like there's just kind of I've got a lump at the bottom of the chair,
Folded.
and I look kind of like a bit snake-like, in a kind of a bit tubular, folded in an extra way that again everyone must presume is probably normal. But I can reach my elbow down to the table. That's important.
Brittany eyes all of this and just has this kind of like straight, like her mouth is agape in sort of mild horror, and then she kind of like closes her mouth and goes like, "Where are you from?"
Oh, here and there, just over the mountains that way.
That's good. Do they have arm wrestling there?
Yes, they do.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. They have arm wrestling where I come from as well.
That's why it looked like it was going pretty well. I thought I'll have a go.
I didn't find it about as well as you could hope. They say that arm wrestling is 90% arms.
Only 90% arms.
And the 10% is heart. She like slaps her leg like she's made the funniest joke in the entire world, and then you look away for a second, then when you look back, you just see the bottom of her tankard as she's like sinking the rest of her drink.
All right, I secretly reckon my chances are quite good. I've forgotten because I made the character for the pre-record any of my stats.
Wait, so you don't? I think I have your sheet here, or do you?
No, I have it. I just never looked at it. Yeah, no.
Right. It's as much a surprise for you as it is for us.
I'm going to do well. All right. Well,
okay. Bear in mind, you have already made an enemy in Paul.
No, Paul and I.
I can feel him seething through Skype.
Look, Paul.
Okay.
So anything when I roll badly. So
the table creaks under Brittany's weight as she kind of like shifts herself as she like kind of rolls her fingers and presents it to you. She's like, ready when you are. We go on. We go on arms.
Are we going arms? Is there a lead up to arms?
1, 2, 3, arms, and then we go.
It's not like head, neck, shoulder, arms.
Okay, we can do that. Head, neck, shoulder, arms. Okay, I like your way of doing. You're fun. You're a funny wee man with your big hat and your knobbly body. You don't make sense, but you make jokes, so I like it.
What was I going to ask? How big are her hands?
Her hands are like shovels. Like they are large. It's got that whole thing that people have where like the thumb comes out at almost like a right angle.
Yeah,
like it looks almost like a cartoon hand. Like it kind of dwarfs your regular sized hand. Not so much that like you can't clasp it properly, but it's sort of like when a parent's holding hands with a child.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say almost more of that, but yeah, I can't hold it properly. I more have my hand in the center from the way you said it. Yeah, here, like. I'm wrestling the center paw of her palm with all of my hand, I think.
I'm gonna say, depending on how you want to do this, the angle So presumably your forearm is a lot shorter than hers as well.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah,
the angle is
that's
actually
why
quite
I'm crouched in an odd position. I have quite short arms. That's
so
the
the
only-
angle actually favors you.
Oh, does
So
it?
the angle favors you because you've got more of a fulcrum kind of thing, and she has to kind of like extend her arm out a little bit
Sure.
more. So I'm gonna give you, let's say, if you want to do it,
Suck it, Paul.
if you want to do this with athletics, I'm gonna give you a +1 to it because like it's a little bit easier for you to use strength. But if you want to use any other methods, you won't have that advantage.
Okay, so athletics, you say?
Yes, as in it'll purely be strength because if it's like sleight of hand, that's not really going to help you. The benefit you have is the fact that your angle is actually more favorable.
Cool.
But if someone weaker with a shorter arm, it's like, if someone's got a +10 to strength, you've got a +1, then hooray, you have a +2.
Yeah. Oh, so you're giving me an extra if I have a plus something if I get an athletics.
You get a +1 to whatever you roll if you're using athletics to beat her.
Boom. Well, my athletics is already +9, so.
+9.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not what I was expecting from the character.
I don't. You didn't think my character would be athletic. It's the one thing.
No, I did not.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you're trying to lambast me, you've walked right into my my house.
You seem so physically elegant as a character so
Yeah,
far.
you-
So that is something.
You sounded like you're about to come apart of the seams at any moment.
Sure. There's a difference between athletic and being competent or intelligent.
Sure, you just totally described. Okay, yeah.
That's fine. Okay, so are you going straight athletics?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All right. Oh, natural 20.
I think me and Paul are both ready to make you
I'm
roll.
going to take a natural 20.
Oh, I'm taking
Oh
it.
no, I believe you.
Yeah. No,
Then-
I'm saying don't have them take it away from me.
Oh, I'm
Don't
taking
take
it.
Hey guys.
Should a natural 20 be like the one only rule that's immune or something?
Yeah.
Because I do feel like
I don't think so because like a natural 20 is effectively an automatic success.
Plus 10.
So what I mean is it's still worth taking it away from because if you rolled an 18, a 20 would be like a 20 is a resounding win. So if you
I
wanted
should
to take
stress,
that away,
lads. I mean, we are a team.
Yeah, we are a team.
There's no need for us to be working against each other.
I'm drinking.
also I think Ben would sack me from the show if I stood in the way of someone drinking beer. So
I'm drinking.
yeah,
okay. You have to reroll that
take
20.
it. Paul's already going for it.
Fine. I'll just roll a 20 again. That's
Okay.
yeah. That's
just-
likely. That's likely. 5.
Not always probable.
5.
Five,
So
so
plus your 10, so
15
15.
15 overall.
16 plus
Gonna
your
make me re-roll?
Yeah, sure.
Five?
Why not? Let's make you re-roll.
Yeah. This is not how D&D works. All right.
correct. Actually, I'm going to write that down for another tagline for eventual merch. This is not how D&D works.
Homebrew. This isn't how it works. I rolled an 11.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
what 21.
21. That's not bad. It's not bad.
Like you
It's
said,
above,
we're on the same side here.
it's above average. Yeah, the question is, do I want to drink half my drink to go again?
Yeah.
I do. Do want to do that. Even though 11 is above average. Statistically, this is a bad plan. But,
Fun plan though.
yeah. So,
I mean, I'm keeping the roll.
I'm imagining
initially.
the way that I got him to re-roll there was I went to mop his brow and instead I just kind of like blocked his eyesight for a bunch of it.
yeah, can
And
this
that
actually
made-
can this just be the trend, like, of the battle, of the arm wrestling? So at first, I really
the
had her
back and
close.
forth. Yeah, initially you're like,
table. Then
yeah.
I went back to 5.
so you initially almost like did the whole kind of like surprise, like catching her completely off guard, almost slammed her down. She just caught it at the last second, and you can see and she actually went like with the exertion, like a bit of spit flies out of her mouth and lands in your eye, and then Corona goes to wipe that, and then in wiping your eye, just like completely obscures your view.
Yeah.
Um,
Then I go all the way to the 5 roll.
Yeah.
yeah, and then back up to 11, which is more or less me on the winning side of half.
yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right. This will be the decider.
I'm just gonna get my drink ready again.
14. 14. The 24.
That's 20.
I gotta down this to make a pre-roll one more time.
I mean, you guys are spending all your rerolls on the roll when he has a +10 to modify it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he can do better.
He can, but it's really hard for him to fail. Well, to fail badly.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
You,
so
you drank.
One more
Paul has
time.
made you re-roll again.
That's
All right.
the
So it
last.
was 11 and now 14. Looks like I'm going to win. Looks like I'm
Yeah,
going to.
it's you're edging it slowly over.
Can I carry the momentum? Oh, yeah. It's a 15, but it's also on its side. So I should re-roll it.
Oh yeah, go on, just re-roll.
Damn it. 15's better than 14.
See, I said you could do better.
Ah!
Did you get a 1?
Yeah, it's a natural 1.
Come on, natural.
Wait a second. I can re-roll that for
You can.
perfectly normal reasons that we don't need to
Oh,
discuss.
yeah.
Are you gonna re-roll it?
Re-roll.
Did you actually get a
I'm
natural?
not taking a natural one.
Okay. Drink your drink. Are you drinking your drinks?
I know
guys?
he's using his ability.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's halfling luck. Right.
I'm using an ability. Yeah, well, look. Is it half luck? Who knows? I'm a giant man. I can't be a half.
Yes, giant. Sorry, excuse me, giant man luck.
Giant man luck. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, 15.
Yeah.
25. Yes.
Okay.
See, I told you you could do
25,
better.
any final adjustments from anyone? Are we accepting this?
I'm almost out of my second beer already.
I fold.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I'm now like cheering him a little. Yeah.
Okay.
Woo.
With a freshly mopped brow and now a limbered up shoulder, Trippy, you can hear that like the chairs that have kind of like the people were like craning around have like fully like their stools around to look at you, because it's become like this sort of like intense back and forth, will they, won't they, of violence, and at the last second you get this kind of like resurgence, and kind of flex from the hip up and just kind of like whoom, almost like whip your shoulder down. And you see Brittany's eyes go wide as you slam her hand into the table. Small amount of splinters kind of shatter from the sides. Not shattering the table, but like you made a little bit of a dent in it. Nice. And she leans back into her stool and like holding her wrist and be like, I'll hurt a wee bit.
Oh, sorry. That's how we arm wrestle back where I'm from.
Across the mountains, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. They make them strong there. Brittany, and she extends her like good hand that wasn't injured for a handshake. I didn't catch your name, tall bendy man.
Trippy.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'd go with bendy, but I like Trippy.
Trippy. Yeah, just call me Trippy.
She kind of like waves to bar staff and like points to the table. She's like, "Are the two weird ones with you as well? I'll get a round of drinks for them." I
look down briefly for a second when she says that, and then realize, and then I go, "Oh yeah. They're with me."
She like gestures for a round at the table, and fresh beers brought around. Like clearly the bar staff had like looked at the drinks that were being drank. So some of the drinks there's a smell of mint coming off them.
Oh, I was gonna say, do you have any of that? Oh, the green beer, great. There you go. Green beer.
There is it's becoming apparent that some pubs are actually serving this novelty beer. So it's there.
Vindication. But I am actually drinking Mad Dog.
Brittany, big fan. Of your arm wrestling.
I was a big fan of your mopping. You were good at that.
Thank you.
I've seen you here before, though, haven't I?
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm a bit of a fangirl to you. Kind of follow you around. You go on your tours of the pubs. Now Callum McAllister sent us your way. He said that you've got a kind of special delivery, and that's something that might be able to help with the old. And I mean to whisper, but instead I kind of shout, "Revolution!"
Just keep your breath down. You'll get us in a bit of trouble. She like leans into like your ear. We can't be shouting that word around. They're everywhere.
Is she Billy Connolly?
She's going that way. I
got banana
haven't DM'd in a while. It turns out I have a harder time holding on to accents than I remember.
Who's everywhere? And what do you have something that we can defeat them?
if you're looking to take out the wee lads going around here, well, we in quotations, well, you'll need to see them first. You know, they're a bit. Well, okay, I've got an idea. We'll need one of them here. Okay, punch that barman in the face, please.
I am. Well.
She talking to him or me?
She's talking to Corona.
Cool.
But I assume, can they hear or no? She's saying this to me.
You're like, your table's a little bit away from the bar.
Well, I'm gonna kind of wince at the suggestion. It's like, but that's like, I'm sorry. I mean, we all have our kind of cultural and religious beliefs. I can't do such a thing.
That would be really funny, and it'll help me explain to you what's going on.
Not a member of the bar, though.
I tell you what, if he says it, I'll tell him. Yeah, it's fine. It's all right.
Well, the customer is always right. Okay, I'll just go punch the guy.
She like nudges a meaty elbow into you, Randy, and is like, "This is gonna be fucking hilarious."
I was gonna offer to do it as well because that guy didn't buy any beer from me.
I mean, if you want to kick him out, he's gonna crumple after she hits him. She's got some fucking shoulders on her. If you want to kick him in the face, I'm okay with that. Okay, so you're swinging at the bartender.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of close my eyes, maybe. As I do it.
Okay, giving yourself disadvantage.
Make an attack roll with disadvantage then if you're closing. I'll say he's not looking at you. He's like a non-moving target, and you're like a 9th level adventurer. So you hit him. It's just kind of a matter of where you hit him, and if you.
Stupid question. You say attack roll. That's just a general 20, right?
20 plus your strength and proficiency.
Okay.
Or your
Cool.
A smaller number.
Well, with disadvantage, I got a 3. I think that's like a 6 overall. I think.
Okay.
Or maybe like a. Oh no! Sorry, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9.
9. Okay, so you connect, but it kind of catches as you're swinging. It kind of catches your smaller 2 knuckles. Mm-hmm. So it kind of cracks, and he crumples in a heap on the floor. And your hand is kind of throbbing afterwards. So you're gonna have disadvantage to doing anything with your good hand, for a little while.
That makes
not
sense.
for maybe an hour or so.
I was going to request that I take emotional damage from it. So that is.
Yeah, your pride is wounded. Like this soft bag of twigs with a mustache hurt you effectively.
Oh no, it's not my pride. I just feel like I know that I'm
bad.
It's the hierarchy of the service industry that I have just disrespected, and so I'm dealing with that emotionally, and
it wounds your professionalism.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I am known for my professionalism in this town. Every bar.
It's on our carriage. It's true. The bartender slams up against the wall and kind of holds his jaw, and he goes guards, I'm being assaulted, assault. And then Brittany goes and gestures for you to come sit down. It's like, it's okay, just come sit here. Just over here. Come sit here. He won't. It's fine. It's okay.
What the fuck was that about?
It's okay. Just wait. Wait. The guards are gonna come, and it's okay. You can sit here. I'll protect you. You're all right. They don't fuck with me. They don't fuck with old Brittany. It's Brittany, bitch. They don't fuck with Brittany.
Can I cast disguise self on myself? Because
sure.
I really don't want anyone to know that I did that.
Sure thing. What does your disguise look like?
My disguise self is I'm just gonna look like Brittany's twin.
Okay.
Because I'm easily impressionable, I think.
Are you identical, or are you making any changes?
Mirror. Be a mirror of her.
I'm gonna be very very similar, but still with all of my piercings,
okay.
and also still in the same fake bar made.
So your clothes are the same.
Yeah.
Cool. You into an almost identical copy of Brittany the Barrel. She kind of looks at you and is like, well, that's a good trick. That's really good. Clever girl. And after a couple of seconds, the bartender is kind of holding an ice pack up to his jaw, and you can all see it's not bleeding, it's not bruised, but he's acting like he's had his skull fractured. He's like, oh. And and the this hand reaches in. The door to the bar is still open, and these kind of long fingers just kind of like and like pull, similar to how you might enter a room trip be, but it's a little creepier. And this
Creepier.
a little bit creepier
I'm
somehow.
not creepy at all. I'm like a normal
Well,
person.
then it's creepy. It's a creepy version of what you do when you enter.
Yeah.
You telling us how normal you are, Keelan? It's not. That's not creepy at all.
I'm completely normal. I mean, you see, I've only been normal. The whole time.
Sorry.
That's his race. He's playing a normal. You see an unarmed human with neatly parted hair in like a split. He's quite tall, like maybe 6'2", 6'4", but not unbelievably tall. Quite a slender build, wearing a simple navy uniform that Corona or anyone else who's been in town for a while would recognize it as the local law enforcement. He is his face is long and narrow, with a stretched smile that sort of bunches the rest of his face into wrinkles. So his smile is quite flat, and then up like by his eyes is all kind of wrinkled. And yet the smile itself doesn't seem to touch his cold, dark eyes. They're like, if you were to cover the bottom half of his face, it's almost like he's just staring. And his eyes are jet black. They almost look like hollow cavities. He kind of like looks around the room and sees the barman in a heap, and just kind of like calmly walks over, almost like in a glide, with his hands sort of almost in a praying position up by his chest, and like looks around like an inquisitive child. And the bar is now like noticeably more quiet. People are kind of like not a dead silence. They're just trying like almost like they're behaving around a parent. And the officer leans across the tavern, and you just hear, "Oh, you've been all smashed up, Herbert. Who did this to you? That's not allowed." And you see Herbert, the bartender, kind of like goes to point at the table, and then like stops halfway. He's like, "Is you? There's a half orc lady. She. Oh no, well, she was here. She's always here. I got hit pretty hard. I don't know where she might, but she's somewhere. Can you stick around? She'll be back. She keeps coming back." And the officer kind of like pulls back. He's like, "Herbert, I think you've been telling tales out of school. I've got a lot on my plate this evening. I can't be helping you wipe your bottom every time someone gives you a tickle."
This is giving me like G-Man vibes from Half-Life. Like, it's so weird.
So Brittany gives you a nudge, Corona, and like gestures your rag and kind of like pinches it a little bit, and it's like kind of like seemingly asking if she can like borrow the rag for a second.
Okay, I will allow it. Whole body tensing.
You look visibly tense, and she kind of like balls it up into both hands, and you just hear because the tavern isn't dead silent, you get the impression not everyone can hear this, but she kind of squeezes the rag, and you hear this kind of, and you realize Brittany's let a little tiny squeaker of a fart, and then places the rag on the table, and like gestures to all of you to like put your hand on the rag. Do you do it?
Sure.
Or do any of you?
Sure.
As you do, you can kind of feel this kind of thrum of magical energy off it. It feels like the rag is now slightly enchanted, and you kind of feel like the world around you sort of feels like there was a small, like a dull mist that's kind of just someone's opened a window and it's kind of a little bit. Kind of feels like a little bit easier to breathe, definitely easier to see. The general murk.
Wow.
The general murk you didn't realize was there is now gone. The tavern itself looks fine. It just seems a little clearer. And you look over at the bar and you see Herbert looking eye to eye with this enormous, almost 15-foot figure kind of like slumped down, almost like as in like its head would be going past the ceiling, but it's kind of hunched over. Kind of like a dull gray skin, not wearing any clothes. Seemingly not anatomically correct, just kind of like a patch where its genitals would be, from the rear view, you can see it looks like it's got like two spines running up along the back. And rather than a mouth, it's got like two big flaps most of the way down its face and these tiny beady eyes on the side. And you can just hear this kind of like chittering noise, and like it's almost like there's a delay in translation. So Herbert's speaking to this thing, and then it's replying in kind of and it's almost like your mind is translating the noise it's making, and then it's you hear the shaky voice you were hearing before, like, "Oh, Herbert, I can't help with that," and Herbert kind of like eventually looks defeated. And the creature kind of like recoils back, and as it turns around, you can see it's actually got, it pulls something back down over its face, and you can no longer see the slitted face, but it's got like a human mask, but it looks like kind of those, like, the rubber masks you wear over your whole face, but it's kind of loose, so it's almost like he's wearing a loose human mask over his face. And you can hear this kind of like chittering and clicking as it walks past. And it's like, "Oh, everyone stay behaving now." And it lumbers outside the room. And then Brittany takes her hand off the rag, and the mist kind of back in. She was like, "That's a little bit fucked up, isn't it?"
The hell was that?
That's them. Capital T. That's them.
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 What are them?
I don't know.
Can I roll an investigation check to maybe see what I might know about them?
Sure. What would it be? Like, does Randir come from like the deep underground, or what's his background?
Yeah, he's a mountain, like a mountain tourist. So yeah, he would be like traveled quite deep into the ground with like other, as an alchemist, he would have followed them to check the purity of metals and stuff like that. So
yeah, make an investigation or a history check. It's up to yourself. You decide which.
I'll go for investigation. Oh, I got a 2 plus 8, so 10 altogether. But I might drink just to reroll that.
You want to reroll it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I know this might be pretty hard to do, but wanted to see if
You'll tell you what, you'll get something out of it. Depending on the roll is how much you'll get out of it.
So I got a 23 altogether.
23. Okay, so with a 23.
Sorry, no, I did. Yes.
There's a few rolls that benefits you. I would like to shoot myself in the foot, please, because it's funny.
Sorry.
Your experience. It's something not native to this sort of plane of existence. You've come across stuff, not these creatures, but something similar, like the characteristics, like having two spines, large nasal flaps, like it's got the skin of something that doesn't normally need to deal with sunlight, so it definitely normally belongs underground. You've definitely come across creatures like that. The idea of something with two spines historically means that it's something very, very old. Narrowing it down to one spine is something that most creatures have only developed in the past maybe 10, 20,000 fantasy years, because that's how evolution works in this world. So the fact that it's got two spines means it's super old, and is built for living underground, or at least not in normal temperate climates.
Yeah, I relay this information to like the group.
Two spines. I say out loud.
I don't know what's fucked up, isn't it?
I mean, what do you mean two spines is older? Things we used to all have two spines?
Maybe.
That is strange. I personally find two spines to be incredibly odd for an individual.
No.
I agree. One spine is clearly correct.
Yes. Yes, one spine.
Right, like we all have, like each of us at this table have.
Like everyone,
Should we check how many
everyone at this
spines
table
everyone
has.
Maybe everyone should show their spines to see if one of those creepy men is here.
I think it wasn't
like
clothes.
top off, and it's kind of like showing your back. It's like, I've got a spine. I'm not spineless. I've got one.
Her magic showed us. We don't need to, It's a really complicated trench coat to get back on and off again.
touch my tablecloth, my rag? Is it in the still table? Can I grab it? Is it like is it still there?
It doesn't do anything when you pick it up by yourself, but Brittany sees what you're going for and goes like, "I just gave it a little squeaker. It's not permanent, but I can do something a lot more long term. I just want to."
That would be great. As much as I sort of never want to see that thing again.
But you
also,
won't be able to stab it if you can't see what it is. So you'll need to. Okay, so I'll need one thing from each of you. So well, I can do something else, but you seem quite like that rag. Is that fair? I can modify something you each have to make it a little bit of whoosh to them. You know.
Sounds good.
Okay, so do your rag. Bendy boy, what do you want? What's your poison? I can enchant it.
What do I have? I'm wearing gloves, I guess.
Sure, you can do a glove. You can do one of your weapons if you want as well.
Oh yeah, no, I'm wearing gloves. This will be more fun. I'm wearing gloves. I'll take one glove off in my pocket, and then I'll put the glove down. Okay. I will keep my hands in my pockets.
Randy, or what are you offering up for enchantment?
I was going to do my like water skin, but I also really like the beer in that, and I don't think I wanted it tainted by anything that to do with these creatures. So
or what seems to fart. She's gonna have to fart.
Oh, that is also true. I didn't think about that. Yeah. I guess I'll give her some mining goggles that I have.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool. She kind of like bunches all three of them up on the table, and she goes, "Okay, I need you to put your hands on it as well." She like opens one. And it's like, "Put your hands in the pile." Yeah, and she like grips all of your hands, and her hands are like quite sweaty. And she's like, "Sorry, it's from the arm wrestling." And she goes, she kind of like lets out this sort of, "Okay, it's done." There's like no flourish, no big explosion of arcane energy, but you can feel there's a bit of magic coming off your equipment. It's like, sorry, the fart before was incidental. I apologize. But you've got magic items now. So with that, those items now are enchanted, and as long as you are touching them, you can see these creatures for what they are, and more importantly, you can actually inflict damage upon them.
Right.
So you now have some of the tools you need to take out these monstrous, dark, ancient ones.
Can I ask her and do you know, have you seen these get damaged? Like what really have you seen like anything that have people tried this before?
Not as far as I know, but I think they can be, hurt. I think they can be stabbed. I know it doesn't seem to bother them that much, but it does slow them down. I think you'll probably have to take out the big one to finish it. I think they're kind of hive-mindy a little bit.
Is that the big one?
They respect the hierarchy of the boss employee.
It's all about the hierarchy. Yeah, exactly. Upper management.
Yeah. Okay, I respect that.
I mean, you can slow him down, but if you want to kill him, you're gonna have to take out the governor. He's around. He'll be at the town square to close out the festival. So if you're there tonight, you can probably kill him then. I would recommend it.
Okay, great. We have a plan.
Okay. Yeah, Brittany picks up her glass and was like, "So I guess we'll finish these and then we'll see if you survive."
Yeah.
So you all cheers drinks with a plan in motion to defeat the dark beasties. Freeze frame, and the splash is frozen as well. And I think that'll probably be a good point to take our break. So we will be back in 15 minutes, thereabouts. We're going to do our little bio things. And we will continue our Patrick's Day special based in the town of Baggycans. So stay tuned, or come back, or don't. No, but please do. We like you. We're back in 15.
Bye.
welcome back to part 2 of this Paddy's Day Homebrew special. When last we left our heroes, they were taking part in a revolution, liberating the people of Bagacans from an oppressive and spooky government. They met up with Brittany the Barrel, an arm wrestling enchantress, in the Hog's Hearth Tavern, who helped them reveal the illusion that the town's guard and the governor are in fact some sort of unknowable, slimy, grey monster beasties that are about 15 feet tall. And they need to be dead. So, yeah, Lucy's actually done a wonderful rendering. That's pretty...
And my interpretation of the creepy...
It's better than mine, because when he said 2 spines, that's what I do there. That. When he said 2 spines, I just thought like a headshot.
It's just like there's a lot of motion and he's about to punch the guy.
Yeah, I drew a small bar and a small person in front of it, and then he looked bigger.
That's good. No, I like the comparison of a person beside it. So it's something between what you're both doing. You've both done well.
This is my overall map of the locations that we have to go. You've got tavern here, food market.
Is that also your mustache sellotaped in there?
Oh yeah, that's the mustache. That's the St. Patrick's Day mustache that I wore last time. I thought, in case I need.
But do you have a flag?
I don't. Well, look, I can put the mustache is stuck pretty well to the book. Look, I'll put it on for a bit. Let's make it St. Patrick's Day.
The most famous line. Do you have a flag? And if not,
do you have a flag?
Do you have a flag? Keelan, I feel like that was one of your favorite lines, and you
yeah.
You're distracted. You didn't give me full credit for that.
Too much beer. I should give you. Do you have a flag? No flag.
I was watching. I saw the episode recently.
Yeah,
anyway,
what is happening?
Sorry.
What's happening is we've had a lot of beers and then a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Speaking of beers, quick catch up if you missed part 1. We are, if you've not figured it out, drinking more than usual this episode. We have special drinking rules which have affected Keelan and Paul and Lucy to an extent. Basically, our Paddy's Day drinking rules. We did this for last year's episode as well. You drink when you take damage. You drink when you fail a check. Which I realize, Paul, you should have actually were earlier when you failed your check. But we can. It's okay.
Yeah, he can drink retrospectively. That's
okay.
Easy.
That's fair. I'm not going to make him do it, but yep. So yeah, drink when you take damage. Drink when you fail a check. If an enemy is defeated, everyone has to take a drink. If you critically fail, it's 1d4 drinks for you. And you can, at any time, quaff half your drink to reroll any die. That's for you or for anyone else. So earlier on, Keelan rolled quite well, and Paul scuppered him because it was funny. And you can do a back and forth. You can reroll the reroll die, and in Keelan's case, go through most of your supply.
I've got a whole bag. It's okay.
Actually, you've got a big old bag of cans. You're stocked. You're fine.
I haven't. I haven't drank in a year, so this is going to be like really weird.
So it's a big night. We have Paul in the player seat for the first time in homebrew history, playing his dwarven artificer, and also apparently drinking for the first time in a year, and he's got a lot of rum back there. So this is probably going to tell you. I give it another 30 to 40 minutes, and then it's probably going to take a weird turn. I love that bottle so much. It's so good. For anyone listening on podcast, Paul has a alchemical flask, effectively.
Yeah,
to have one of them.
Yeah, it's a boiling flask.
Nice. And speaking of the podcast, if you haven't already, you can find a podcast of our show on Spotify or what's the Android one called? The Google Store? I don't know. Anywhere, wherever you get your podcast, you can find us. Just search Homebrew Quest. And you can also find all our previous episodes on YouTube, youtube.com/homerequest. And if you're watching on YouTube now, click all the like buttons, click subscribe, share it with a friend. Any publicity is good publicity. We crave attention. That's basically it. Cool. Right. Okay. So back into the action. You guys have wrapped things up in the tavern in the Hog's Hearth. So unless there's anything else in particular you want to do in here, I would recommend you move on to one of your other 2 locations.
Well, I mean, pretty hungry after all the arm wrestling and beers. So the food market.
Cool. Yeah, you've had a few beers, so yeah. I mean it's on your plan anyway. So yeah, the food market does sound like it makes the most sense. As you make your way to the food market, which is slightly, it's kind of almost a straight shot, but it's almost like a straight line into the center of town between the Hog's Hearth food market and then the town center. They're kind of like lining the streets, and you see more people drinking in the streets. It kind of gets a bit rowdier and louder as you get closer to the food markets. It's getting later in the evening, so people are kind of like the people who started early are starting to run out of steam and need like a bit of something in the tank to soak up the booze they're drinking. And as you approach, you see row after row of shoddily built wooden stalls housing dozens of chefs peddling their wares. It's an overpowering fog of spices and seared meats. A sea of grinning faces amble about from stall to stall, shoveling greasy slices of flattened bread and haunches of crispy barbecued something into their mouths. There's a constant sizzle of something cooking, and occasionally the flash of flame from a pan. One stall in particular catches your eye, Randir, as a slender elven man stands between two bubbling cauldrons, dicing potatoes and dropping them into boiling liquid with a flourish. The wooden sign above his head reads, "Chips, potato fingers." And it seems like something that would pair nicely with some of your Dying Light ale.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yes, more customers. I'm gonna go over to the elf and be just like, "Oh, what do we have here?"
Oh, hello. I'm Chips Potato Fingers. I dice up potatoes and I boil them in oil, and they come out very tasty. And he hands you a small bag of maybe 5 potato fingers. He's like, "Try one."
Yeah, so I take it and try them.
It's pretty tasty. It's a little bit greasy. Could do with some salt and vinegar, maybe, but it's pretty good.
I have something that can go well with these chips, sir. If you're interested in a beer to sell as well.
There's no shortage of beer in this town, but I will certainly try what you have to offer.
Okay, I'm gonna pour a small, it's like a telescope, beer, cup, and it's like, and then you, pour it in and then give it to him.
A picnic camping cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, he happily takes a slug. How does it taste?
And once again, it is the same.
It's the same stuff.
Yeah.
He's... My lungs! Oh, it hurts my lungs. Oh, God. That's pretty good. Tell you what, I will trade you several bags of potato fingers for a mug of that.
Sure.
Are potato fingers the name of the food? As in, are they fingers of potatoes, i.e. chips?
Is this Keelan or Trip B asking?
That was me asking. But Trip B...
I mean, for the players at the table, these are chips. These are chipper chips that he's making.
Cool.
But he's calling them potato fingers.
I like that. What Trip B wants to know is this the only potato establishment? Or as I suspect...
He seems to be the only one doing this. The rest is big, haunches of fantasy boar meat and grapes or whatever people eat at festivals.
Trip B's also straight to the potato man.
He's he gets a thick brown bag of potato fingers and hands it over to you. He's like, it's 5 copper pieces, if you please. You, the tall, gangly fellow.
It's and I rummage around my pockets, and all sections, multiple sections of me appear to rummage. Even though my hands aren't going into my pockets, my belly rummages a bit, and my knees rummage a bit, and here you go. And I take my hands out of my pockets, and it's 5 copper pieces.
Is it like?
Go on.
Is it like it's your bottom part rummages and then something moves and then something slowly moves up the body towards the pocket or something
like a snake regurgitating something?
There's some classic rummaging, as you all know. When you're looking for something, you have an old rummage through your whole body. You do a bit of a shake, and if it's there, it naturally goes into the other side of your pocket, and then you get it inside your pocket. Everyone does that. This is all normal. I don't need to discuss that.
I'm kind of visualizing when a cartoon character is hungry and their whole tummy goes.
Yeah, exactly that. Like a tumble dryer, but there's 2 of them. They're both parts of my bottom halves.
The elf kind of looks you up and down kind of in an unnerved way, and then sees the coin, and then all all looks of discomfort and just evaporate. He's like, very good, thank you very much. Here are your potato fingers, and thank you for your silver. Next, little lady, my half orcish friend, can I get you something? Perhaps some. Ooh, what about these potato fingers that I have over here?
I'm not sure. I was thinking. The market, I assume it's like it's laid out so that there's an area where the people that are selling are standing. So like on the one side. So like
yeah, it's like a row of stalls, like.
Yeah, so Corona would have prestidigitated. She's still in the no, actually she's taken off the disguise self. She's herself, and she's now in her market garb. So it's regular. It's Does
she just have like a rota of like different uniforms that she's worked?
Yes,
Nice.
exactly. Like any good employee of multiple establishments would. And so she is immediately kind of like, just squeezing her way in behind the back and kind of just giving everyone the like, what's up?
People are handing you like empty mugs and like plates with like the ends of food on them, but they're not really looking at you. They're kind of like, thanks, love, there you are.
Yeah. She's like, but I also I imagine that they're like, they're rolling their eyes like, oh, here she is again. Oh God. But we don't want the acid splash, not the acid.
Oh yeah, some of them definitely look a little bit scared of you. So they're kind of like almost like some of them look like they maybe had like maybe half their drink left, but they see you coming, so they're like, oh shit, okay, here you go.
Yeah, but so I'm just gonna be with it in that like that back bit, and just gonna sort of ask him like kind of like, here, how's everyone going for tonight? How's the festival? Is everyone okay? Trying to get the attention a little bit.
Okay, you're trying to get like the customer's attention.
No, the attention of if I'm like behind the bit, so it's the people.
Okay, so you've kind of worked your way back as if you're kind of like working in the stalls.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. It's like straight away go in down the back because that's where she belongs. She's.
Make a performance check with advantage because you are wearing the uniform, but you definitely don't work here right now.
Yes. Yes. Performance check with advantage. Okay.
What do you think, Paul? You reckon she does this?
Huh?
You reckon she does this?
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah.
What did you get, Lucy?
Sorry, I'm doing the D&D and Beyond, and it's a bit slow. 19 was the first roll.
Oh.
And 17, so 19.
Okay. Now I will say Lucy gets advantage on any of the like.
Yeah, any reroll would be a reroll.
Yeah, I think because otherwise you could just get her to or do we get her to keep? No. Yeah, I think she gets.
I think
advantage every time you make a reroll. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the re-rolling. I think the best you could probably do is cancel out an advantage if you were trying to be against her, as in make a reroll once. But yeah.
Yeah, then it becomes more actually competitive as opposed to a bit of crack.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. My goal is to get their attention to hand out the ball bearing.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's Paul you want to watch out for. I think 19 is great.
No, I'm fine with
Paul,
this.
Anything to say about this?
No, it's grand. Yeah,
it's grand.
We'll allow it.
Yeah.
The acid splashes are working on you too.
Yeah.
She's already turned my mustache green.
I can use the dimension door as well. That's part of my arsenal here.
Okay.
So.
All right. I'm going to drink anyway, though.
So, Corona, as you start asking people how things are going, there's a half-elf woman with a tall, kind of like almost cartoonish chef's hat, like with a chopping knife in each hand. She's dicing carrots with one hand and like slicing up, like kind of shredding some lettuce with another, and then kind of like pushing them together and pushing them out. Where another chef is kind of scooping them onto flat pieces of beef. And she's like, "It's going alright, love. It's pretty busy. Listen, what's the vibe out there? They're kind of like starting to ramp up. It's not going to get a bit violent out there, is it?"
Yeah. So don't want to worry everyone. Obviously, it's all under control. But also, tonight maybe the night we finally get rid of those fucking bastards. The upper class, you know what I'm talking about, the guards, and I'm trying to like look at them all to try and get them all to be on there, to like that kind of like naughty gossip kind of thing where like I'm hoping they're also going to be like, yeah, I fucking hate them, but maybe there's a narc in there, who knows.
So the chef that's like dicing the carrots like doesn't even turn around. She's like, the guards have always been good to us, love. We don't have to worry about them. And then she like scoops the veg over. She like looks you dead in the eye and goes like, "Are you fucking serious? Is it happening? Are we gonna?" And she like gestures with a knife. Are we gonna fucking?
Yeah, and I'm gonna also like kind of say loudly, like, yeah, no, you know what? I actually think they do a really good job, and it's a difficult job to do to maintain the peace. And then I say to her, yeah, no, we are going to fucking destroy them tonight, and tonight is the night. I hope you are with us.
Yeah, no, they're not paid enough, you know, and they don't get enough benefits, don't get enough respect. I'm with you. No, okay, we're all with you. We're gonna fucking take them out, all right? Listen,
Okay, and I'm
listen,
gonna.
right, look at me, right? We're gonna kill him.
Was the easiest recruitment I've ever seen.
You see, looking down the stalls, you can see like she kind of like lifts her head and flips her chopping knife, so it's in like a stabbing motion, and kind of like gestures. It's almost like a punching her fist victoriously in the air, but with a knife in it. And a couple of the chefs like look up from the boards and just kind of do the same sort of gesture. It's like,
Excellent.
all right, the lads are in. Yeah, all right. What's your
Can
plan?
I pass her the bag of the ball bearings or whatever, the ones that I have on
The
me?
fuck is this?
Like, here.
Is this a bomb?
It's a bunch of tiny, tiny little bombs. And instead of exploding, I think they trip people up. It's just like a bomb in some other ways, you know.
Are you fucking joking? I'm not gonna kill anyone with this.
Well, here, okay, please, at any point, once we start attacking and you want to use those fine knives of yours, please feel free. But what I will say essential is when we give the signal, which it'll be unmistakable, I'm sure. When we give the signal, if you could just pass these to everyone and have them to throw them out in the middle of the town square, could you do that?
Yeah, no. Yeah, all right. What's the signal?
That's a good question.
I will shout signal very loud.
And I'm thinking, like my dish rag, I'm gonna like kind of like spin it around, you know, and it's like when I give it the old helicopter motion, you know.
What's a helicopter?
What is it? It's like a sycamore seed.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you.
Yeah. the half elf brandishing chopping knives goes, "Oh, you got me."
Yeah,
I know her name. I don't want to ask her name because I think I know her name, but do you know her name?
Hang on. I think that froze me. What do you mean? As in, do you have a beer, or do you think you actually know the character's name?
I do think that Corona has met her before because I think she's met everyone in this town.
Cool.
Like, in this
give me a name then. Give me a beer name.
What have we got? She could be Kokomo.
Kokomo. Kokomo is a good ass name.
Kokomo, yeah.
Lovely, attractive can.
Kokomo.
I was trying to make a mistake because she gave
the chef.
ball bearings. I was like, Lucy's lost her marbles, but you know, I haven't found a way. I figured I'd just say it like this, and that's essentially like saying a joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Give us the ingredients, make it in our head.
Everyone can make their own joke. There's the punchline. It's like painting by numbers, you know.
So just to be clear, Kokomo, if you miss the signal will also be me screaming Kokomo. Okay, is that cool?
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, whoa.
Right. Well, tell you what. Yeah, we'll do our best to follow it. I really hope you've more of a plan than these ball bearings, because I'm now realizing you don't really seem, you're not well armed. Listen, the less I know about your plan, the less culpable I am. I'm just here to cook.
I will point out the signal for the whole thing now is your name.
Yeah,
so
you will be implemented.
That's a very good point.
Stinted as can be. If they're gonna look for anyone, it's now you. I'm sorry, we can't change. It's been decided.
Yeah, that's not great, is it? That's not great. Might have to relocate after this one, lads.
Oh, you won't. We're gonna succeed. We're gonna get those weird fuckers.
Yeah, it won't matter. Everyone will call. You'll be a legend. You'll be a hero. You know, there'll be songs named after Kokomo.
Yeah.
The signal.
Do you not want glory?
Yeah. Kokomo. This isn't the signal, by the way. Kokomo. Starts throwing the ball bearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all throw the ball.
Stop her from throwing the ball.
Trip B, make a persuasion check.
No. I have no idea if I can do that.
I can help you re-roll it.
It's not awful.
Well, I will say you have advantage because, I mean, Corona's effectively helping. It was initially Corona convincing her, but then you full on went into persuasion mode, so the roll is unfortunately yours.
Oh, is chanting someone's name persuasion mode?
It's a bit more direct than gently coaxing.
This is an ability check, right?
Yeah.
It is an ability check with advantage, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do Flash of Genius as well.
Ooh,
which
what
is
does
an
that do?
artificial. When another creature you can see within 30 feet makes an ability check, using your reaction, you can add +4 to their roll.
Oh,
so
wow.
essentially, I'm just gonna go like, you got this, like, kind of thing.
So you're like behind him, like,
yeah. He raises his glass, and it lends. I mean, as if all you needed was me, and then you know the whole revolution is going to work. But if you need a tiny short dwarf going like that, I can see how that'd be. Okay, the first roll was 11 on the second roll is 15, and I have a +5, I think.
And then my +4.
And +4, 24. 24.
okay, yeah. Or thereabouts. It's a success.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
it
so,
was persuasion, yeah?
So, yeah, persuasion. So, Kokomo kind of like sets down one of her knives and kind of shifts the ball bearings in her hand. She's like, all right, well, don't chant now. The others will think that's the signal, and then everyone will get a ball bearing in the arse, you know? So,
I got you. I didn't think about that part. I was excited.
No, it's exciting. It's exciting.
When you pass this down the line, don't tell everyone that it's, for nefarious reasons. Like, maybe just like tell them it's like a thing. The guards asked us to do it. I'll trust your judgment there.
Right. Yeah. No, I know a few of them that'll be a bit square now, so I'll tell them it's, government mandated just to clear out the louts at the end of the night,
Yeah. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
So
ball bearings.
Exactly. That's the full phrase. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just we can't bear to keep you off you fuck, that kind of
Yeah.
So I think the only thing I have to ask is, do you want to buy some beer? We have some lovely beer.
Oh no, love, I don't drink.
What? This is the crack festival.
No. I do heaps of drugs, but no.
Well then, yeah, okay, grand. Each their own.
Don't have any bags for you. No, never mind. All right, it's fine. Listen.
Well, Corona's got a splash of acid.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna kill her by making her snort a line of acid.
She's actually been spiking everyone.
It's like incinerator inside.
Spiking people with acid.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Yeah.
Flash of acid in the face.
Okay, you have successfully recruited the merchants of the food market, and you are now free to move on to the town square, where hopefully the final showdown will occur. You walk on your way there. This time you walk past a couple more city guards. They only seem to be going individually. Sometimes they'll have like human accompaniments. They look like kind of civilians, and with your enchanted artifacts, you can see that they're just these large, lumbering, gangly, monstrous things. But the humans walking with them are just regular people. But they have this kind of like hunched over look to them, like they're they seem to be reviled by the people walking around them. So they are just regular people, but they are seemingly under the employ of whatever evil force is running this place.
Would you say it's wisdom based not to look at their actual height now that I'm proving that I can see them?
That might be performance.
Oh, performance. Okay.
Yeah, because you're trying to like not look like you're doing something, or are you trying to know if you would know not to do that?
If my character is intelligent enough.
My wisdom. I'll let you pick whatever stat you want if you can justify that it makes sense.
It seems unwise, and thus my character is unwise. I'm gonna roll to see if I can not look I mean, I don't know.
Okay, roll to see if your character would know.
Yeah, if he'd know not to bother looking at their real height now. Although I guess I'd just be looking at their crotch otherwise. Well, that's probably
well, their faces are actually more or less at the right height. It's just that their back kind of like looms up over.
I'm going to drink half my drink because that was a 3. Plus 0. So.
Okay.
It would have been what the equivalent of you pointing and going, "I see your true form."
Yeah.
yeah.
It would have been like the fantasy equivalent of what is it? Invasion of the Body Snatchers when he just points and screams.
No. That's all.
God.
I have to open a new.
I can down this beer.
That's not a lot, but yeah, that'll do.
I can fill it up a little bit.
I'd love to help, but I'm impartial.
Yeah. Sure,
I'll help. I'll donate this to the cause.
Sound.
Didn't you get a natural 1?
Yeah. Oh, I got a natural 1. That's good. Let her finish the drink.
Yeah, I thought I had let that finish.
I thought you said it too. I misheard completely.
It's good that you did it because I rolled a 3 again. This is the worst I've ever done. What's that?
Okay. That drink was for that reroll.
Yeah.
This is not instilling your teammates to help you. The one time someone tries to help you and it's like you weaponized it.
No, it was a 3 again.
I got you, mate.
All right. Okay, fine.
Oh, you're
fine. I'll open the wild beers.
I got you.
Cool.
This is probably the most teamwork ever in homebrew history, and it's happening out of character.
Whether or not, look, my character's not intelligent, not wise. It's not intelligent either. But
you were about to say not wisdomous, so that kind of
Look, it's been a lot of.
This is also a test that you brought on yourself. Like Wes wasn't asking you to even do this.
But I strongly encourage it. I'm very happy with where this is going.
Yeah. I thought it would be a reroll or 2. I'd probably do fine. I didn't think I'd get a 3, a 1, a 3, a 3. Okay, sorry, I dropped it. All right. Twice as good.
So 6.
Yes. One more go, lads. I'll go.
It's just, I mean, I'm not against this, but it's okay to fail. But that's.
I would like to get double digits.
That's completely fair and within your prerogative, but I don't think the game's going to end.
Like 6 rolls, one of them you'd think.
This is going to take
17.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we beat the big bad, yeah? That was the roll.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is an arbitrary roll that Keelan insisted on making in the first place.
Well,
that if he'd failed it would have been very, very bad. But if he succeeds, things carry on as they are.
Oh.
Yeah, like also even failing it would be like what? You'd be like look afraid of the guards that are trying to be scary anyway.
No, but I'd be looking 15 feet into the sky.
It would have been very suspicious, but now that you've succeeded, it just carries on as normal.
With enough drink, it turns out I am wise enough not to look in their face. That's what
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm for Paul trying to get me to re-roll the 17.
So you managed to walk without incident, thankfully, to the center of town, which is a miracle. The air is fresh, probably the freshest air you've breathed since you entered the shack on the fringes of town. Between the smoke in the hog's hearth and then the smell of meats and steam and smoke from cooking food, it's actually quite refreshing. It feels like the first time you've been outside in weeks. There's a small crowd of people sort of gathering around. It's sort of like a ring, almost as if the entire city is sort of like circular with different rings around it. This is the core, and there's a small stage set up with a pole and sort of a blue crystal with cabling sticking out of it. And the crowd parts a little bit as you see a couple of guards kind of just like slowly pushing people out of the way, and they're like, excuse me, please get out of the move. And the crowd opens. And you see this squat, stocky, pale individual Sort of like so all of these guards almost look like they could be part of an extended family. They've got like similar features but not identical. This one sort of looks like maybe he's in, he's a cousin rather than a brother. Like he does have his own sort of differences. He's a bit more squat, a bit wider. He's a stout, sweaty man with an unnaturally wide face as opposed to the gaunt faces of the guards you've seen so far. He's dressed in a tailored black suit. Excuse me. All this beer. Yeah. With a tailored black suit with deep red embroidery on the cuffs and down the lapels, and a top hat perched in the dead center of his head. He dabs his forehead with a handkerchief, smiling and nodding at the crowd around him. And his face is filled with a tempered disgust, as though hoping the courtesy of a smile will keep the riffraff around him from coming any closer. He's sort of nodding like, yes, good. And he comes to the edge of the stage, and one of the guards kind of puts both hands down to make a small ladder, and he hoists him up, and he kind of just about makes it. It's a little bit awkward, but you see no one in the crowd is kind of laughing. They're all kind of like, kind of like, the emperor wearing his invisible cloak or whatever. That, God, I've mixed it up. I'm mixing up the Emperor's New Groove and the
Emperor's New Clothes.
Yes, but I was mixing up the Emperor's New Groove and like Jacob's Multicolored Dreamcoat. No, what was it? No,
Technicolored.
That was it. I was mixing up the two of those somehow. Anyway, it's that.
And Joseph, isn't it?
Joseph, not Jacob.
Jacob's the one who has a ladder.
Yeah.
Jacob's ladder.
That's it. He kind of waddles up to the long stick with the crystal on top, and he taps it and and you realize the crystal is projecting his voice, and he looks around at the crowd and he's like, hello to you all, a merry crack festival to you all. And the crowd like responds with this very courteous sort of claps and cheers. It's not too over the top. It's very tempered, almost like they're holding back, whether they are actually feeling the enthusiasm or not. And he puts a hand out. He's like, please come yourselves. The crack festival is nearly over. And as he's speaking, you see the guards that brought him there are kind of like weaseling their way out of the crowd. And they've actually gone, you can see, to the other side of the food market around that ring, and like kind of checking sight lines. And it seems like they're making sure no one extra comes in. So they've actually made a bit of distance between themselves and the presumably the governor. And he addresses the crowd, and he's sort of telling everyone to sort of calm down. And he says, you all should start thinking about going to bed. It's school night. And the crowd like lets out this courteous Go. And he turns and starts to like waddle off the stage, and the crowd starts to slowly dissipate, and you can see that like the atmosphere here is the antithesis of what it was in the pub. Everyone seems a bit like glum, knowing like the one evening of fun they get is now apparently done. They kind of seem like kids that were told to go to bed early. People are like leaving their like 3/4 full drinks on the ground and kind of like, okay, I guess we're done. Yeah, and the governor is like kind of slowly descending off the stage, and like he kind of stops himself before he actually hops off, and he's waiting for people to kind of like dissipate, seemingly not wanting to get in amongst the rabble.
I'm just gonna turn to the guys and say like, oh, now that is an effective way of clearing the crowd, the rabble from the pub. That's hard to do. It's hard to clear a crowd out of a pub. I'll be honest. I'm impressed. And then I maybe have to shake myself. Oh, sorry. I think is that the guy we're here to kill? That guy. Okay.
I'm gonna produce three. I'm gonna produce 3 boxes. They're just wooden boxes, which goes. I'm gonna use which could magic tinkering, which allows me to project visual effects, including 25 words, onto these things. So they project like a huge big. So one of them is going to play like really loud music. The other one is going to be like really nice like smells to try and get everybody to look over, and the other one just projects a giant like advertisement for Hutchkiss in the dark ale. Like
I'm starting to question whether or not he's a revolutionary at all.
like, and I'm just gonna take these
first question is what kind of music is coming from the first box?
Like, is it like the what is it that what's that sound? It's like
a theremin.
No, it's like a like, you know, kind of one of those like old.
Is it like roll up?
Yeah, like the old show tunes
music
kind of things. Yeah, like, and I'm just
yeah.
You mean like a hurdy-gurdy or like a glockenspiel?
Like
those are two fun instruments. Okay.
Yeah, they're fun words to say, whether or not.
This flourish of effects kind of erupts from Randir. And the
I'm throwing these into the crowd so that they just appear somewhere else.
Okay, so they're kind of spread around. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. People whip around and they're like, they're into it, and people are like picking back up the drinks they just set down, and they're kind of like looking around, being like, "Okay, yeah, the party's not quite over." So the crowd stops dissipating, and you see the governor kind of like turns around and like, confused as to what the fuck is happening.
I'll sway into acting a little bit more drunk, but using the natural swaying of my motion anyway, to sway into the crowd, holding up my mouthwash, being like, "Woo, crack festival, this time of the night, lads, woo, woo, woo," and I'm gonna walk up, like walking towards the governor, doing this.
Okay, you're closing the distance. Okay.
Yeah.
Corona, what were?
I was just going to say, if I'm holding on to my dish rag as I would be, can I see anything? Like, is the governor, the way you described him, is that what we can see when we're holding our magical objects?
So it was kind of a matter of distance. So now that you're kind of like closing the distance a little bit, the illusion starts to reveal itself, and he's very similar to very very similar to sort of. The skin tone is the same, the face is the same, but he's actually much shorter. He's actually closer to a regular human's height, but just kind of like rolls of fat on his gut, whereas the other ones are quite gaunt and slender. This one is kind of like almost like he's gorged himself, and he's actually got rolls of neck fat. And you see, strangely enough, when the illusion shatters, you see that he's got like a cask of you would actually recognize the local ale under his arm, with like the kind of cork in it, he's got like a bit dribbling down his chin, so it looks like he's been just kind of like taking casual swigs from the local supply.
Okay, so that's his true form that we can tell.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, it's literally like when you took like maybe 5 steps closer, kind of like shimmered apart. So
it's not the weird face thing with the mask.
His face is kind of that similar thing with the fake human face over it. So okay. So Trippy, you've started making advancements towards it. Randir, you've sort of stopped the crowd from dissipating. So if you could advance on this guy, on the governor, under cover of this crowd now, thanks to that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep them whipped up into and act like a drunk person, but keep them whipped up into a crack festival. Woo, crack. Potato fingers and crack.
People start chanting crack around you, like, yeah, crack.
Can I? We were just attacking this guy, right? This is Lucy asking Paul and Keelan.
What? Oh yeah, I mean,
yeah, I think so.
Because I'm gonna be. I think I'm gonna cast fireball at try and you go and just try and right into his gut.
So this is what it's like playing with Huck.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, okay, this is great. So because you've managed to stop the crowd from dissipating, and you did it before the governor left the stage, he is a big old target, and you can hit him safely without hitting any of the crowd. He also has no idea any of you are there. He's expecting just drunken people. So you all get a surprise round on this motherfucker.
Yes.
Sweet.
So I'm going to get all 3 of you to roll initiative just to see when you all act, but you will all get to act before the governor does.
Oh, that's the time you don't want to get your natural 2020. 20 plus 3, 23. Sorry.
Got 5.
I got 8, so 11 altogether.
So the fireball hasn't happened.
No, I clicked. If you see it on D&D and Beyond, I clicked that by accident, so I'll get rid of that.
No. Yeah, I'm just saying, because we were doing initiative based on what she did.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm on 5. So,
yeah, it's effectively like for narrative purposes, Corona is initiating combat, but like mechanically, Trippy, you will get to act. Okay, yeah. So Corona, what did you get? Or Randy, or what did you get in the meantime?
I got 11 altogether.
11, cool.
Sorry, Corona got 5, she said.
5, cool.
Oh, sorry, 5.
5 for Corona. Okay, cool. Trippy, you've been like kind of, tell you what, you've been making your way to the governor, and you hear the sound of a fireball whipping overhead, so you get to act like kind of like almost like as the fireball is in the air.
Cool.
What are you gonna do?
Cool. Well then, is it so he's standing on stage, but are his lackeys nearby, or are they?
No, they sort of spread out away, so he's actually by himself at the moment.
Yeah, but sorry, by nearby I mean like say he's on a stage. If he's center stage,
there are no lackeys in the crowd.
Okay.
The only ones that you saw that were with him are now the other side of the food markets, which weren't that far away.
Oh, okay. So he's basically on his own.
Pretty much, effectively, yeah.
Okay, great. I am going to. Christ, there's not much I can do. A fireball is a good action to not walk right beside your enemy for.
Because Corona got to act first, you know a fireball is coming. So if you can get in, attack, and get back out, kind of thing. But you know that if you end your turn in melee range with this guy, you're gonna have to deal with fire.
Yeah. This will be good. This will be a good move. Right. Like so blast. Am I within? Like, can I move? You know how fighters work. Can I?
Yes. I'd say you're like you worked your way up before this fireball came out. So I'd say you're within 15 feet. So.
Cool. If I can like just jump straight to the stage.
Yeah, I'd say with your athletic level, you can clear that thing, and it's not even considered difficult terrain. It's not a big leap.
Cool. I won't do any fancy backflips or front flips or anything. Just be a straight jump.
Just a normal, regular jump.
It'll be completely straight. Like when I ever see any circus shows, and I'm just using like if there was 3 people standing on top of each other moving, they're very locked straight when they're doing that. There's a lot of things going on. So that's just an example. That's just what it looks like. I'm one person.
Has anyone in chat guessed what the fuck is going on with Trippy yet? Actually,
just jumping onto the stage. Everyone's looking at us, right? There's no way no one's looking at us.
I would say as you rush in, everyone's definitely looking at the fireball.
Cool. No one's looking. Any enemies looking at us?
The fireball is basically going to be like, what the fuck is that? But it's kind of like it's slow-mo, like, so some people have noticed, but no one will actually have properly reacted until you've all gotten your bullet time moment over.
Cool. Right. So moving over to them. If there's no enemies who can see me, everyone's distracted by the fireball. I'm going to take this opportunity, and I know it's a big surprise for everyone, but I'm going to kind of jump into the air, and there'll be one halfling, and then I'll jump into the air again. So like the trench coat's moving. There's one halfling. Jump into the air again. There's another halfling, and now there's just a big floppy trench coat and a third halfling. We're in a crescent moon around the guy.
Okay.
Everyone's distracted. No one's thinking about it, right? But and they're all going to attack. We're all going to attack. So that's 3 attacks. It's a weird ability. I'll either get 3 attacks or 6 attacks. I'm not sure, but I'll say 3 because that's reasonable. But I'm probably flanking him.
I'll give you flanking because out of the 3, you definitely you're flanking.
Cool. So 3 attacks. I won't use any surges or anything. 3 attacks. I can only use light weapons, small weapons. Each of us have a thing, and it's very important that I, at the end of this, go back into being the one individual. So
that is important from a narrative sense. Yes,
it's important the ability doesn't work if I can't do that.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say you've enough time. So yeah,
Cool.
you have enough time to get back in to
Right.
formation.
Well, I have I have 6 short swords.
What?
Each of them carrying 2 short swords. All right.
So you've just like erupted like this monster insect creature.
Yeah. One of them's wearing a very long trench coat, basically as a cape at this stage, and it goes,
Right.
All right, lads. Oh, by the way, probably a good time to say, the first one's called Bibbidi, the second one's called Bobbidi, the third one's called Boo.
Are they shouting their names as they erupt from your trench coat?
Yeah, they are shouting their names, but in a way that it still isn't drawing everyone's attention to them. You know?
I don't, but go on.
Because again, the ability as stated is provided there's no enemies can see me, I'm allowed to do this, but it is a secret. So really need to keep the secret. I am on stage, but this isn't where I thought I'd be using this. Right. Okay. 3 attacks. How does normal non-magical attacks work? Christ. A roll.
You roll a d20 and you add your strength and your proficiency to hit, and then you add the damage plus your strength and any other modifications to the damage.
Cool. Let me find. Well, my strength's good. So, do you want me to roll like 3 d20s or count them all as one for ease of?
Yeah, for ease of use, let's do each attack. Let's just roll 1d20 and multiply it by 3.
Okay, so that's botched. Good. It was either a 20 or a 2, but it was.
I just roll again.
Just roll at the same time. So 9. Sorry, so that's a 9 plus 5, and then you add. You know what? It'd be good if I knew what was going on.
Strength and
proficiency, you say? Oh, here it is.
Proficiency. I was about to say perception. That's not right.
So 18. If I'm adding strength, then I get 2 attacks per action. Oh, anyway, yeah. 18 plus 5, 23.
23. That hits. So
Great.
All 3 of your attacks hit.
All 3 of my attacks hit.
And yes, you get 2 attacks per action.
Yes.
Out of the gate.
Yeah. So I could do that 6 attacks. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So if we want to even roll that, so okay, that hits. Your first 3 attacks hit. If you want to just roll, if you're going to attack again, just roll. Roll a straight attack again.
That is worse. We're talking 17.
17 like hits. So
really? Okay. Great.
Yeah. Just about. Okay.
So each attack is a d6 plus 5. So we're talking.
So similarly, let's just roll 1 unless you particularly want to roll multiple d6s and do a lot of maths.
I have loads if you want, but I can roll 1.
It's up to you.
I'll roll loads. There's no reason to have like 30 d6.
The only way that Randir is like ultimately explaining this in his head is obviously shape-shifted into 3 halflings.
The thing is, Randir, I'd say he's probably not looking. He's distracted by the fire. Everyone's distracted by the fireball. Narratively speaking, that makes sense.
I gotten tipped.
It says enemies, though. I'm not your enemy.
Yeah, I know. It's a weird one. I haven't been able to figure it out. I presumed my friends anyway. Let's see. That's a 5, a 6, a 2, a 3, and a 1. So 6 dice. 5, 5, 6. That's 16. 2, 3, it's another 5, that's 21, plus 1, that's 22, plus 6 times 5 is 30, that's 52 damage, I think.
52 damage, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's 3 dual-wielding halflings all attacking a guy twice while surrounding him.
So that's all your damage for both attacks, yeah?
That's everything. That's everything I'm doing.
Okay, cool. So you...
Oh, wait. Oh, both attacks. 6 attacks. Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah. So, Bibbidi, Bobbidi, and Boo, you all land and spread out around this gross grey creature, and this flurry of blades kind of slices up all around it. And you kind of like take a swing, and then after your initial onslaught, all 3 of you kind of like hold your swords back and kind of like sync up again, and then make one final strike at the same time.
Nice.
And it's the creature kind of like strangely doesn't look at you. He's very focused on the effectively small sun flying towards him. So he kind of like leans back, kind of like almost like a cool guy dodge, and you your swords nick just one of his neck folds, like as in just catching him, and then sends a bit of like a dark grey blood flying off into the crowd, and he kind of like lets out this kind of like and then steadies himself afterwards, and then almost as if like pulled in by a magnetic force, you kind of like back up into your vertical covert form, and then he kind of like locks eyes with you and has this kind of like look as in like, how did you hit me so many times? This doesn't make sense. I am unknowable and I don't know what you've done.
Yeah, having an old sway.
Are you? What are you doing with the rest of your term? Are you staying in melee with him?
No, as much as if you permit that I have movement still, if any way.
You have about 15 feet of movement left.
Cool. That I'm backing up as much as possible, while also, I mean, you don't see much, but it looks like now that the jig is up, the bottom half of me appears to have there's a motion from the middle half and the bottom half like that, and then the middle half. There's 3 high fives going on while we're walking away.
As you go to run away, the governor is going to take an attack of opportunity against you, and that is going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh, I should actually, I should check. I have a stat. That's the thing. That definitely hits. It's like it hits me by a long way.
Okay. I was going to say it definitely hits, but I suppose you're a fighter, so I wasn't really 100% sure.
Yeah, my AC, as far as I know, is 15. So it's trench coat.
Trench coat armor. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
You need to get an armored trench coat like Rander.
Oh, I could wait. What did you roll? 22.
22, yeah.
I'll drink this. That's what that's for.
Okay, yeah, you can make me re-roll that. Okay, let's re-roll. Ooh, well re-rolled. That's going to be a 13.
Yes, he misses.
Okay, so he reaches out with his with this long claw-like hand and just about misses you. He swings at your trench coat. He catches like what would be your midriff, and then Bobbity just sees these like claws slice through at like eye level and like. But now on the plus side, Bobbity can see a little bit better through this like.
Nice. Yeah, he's been looking through the center. Between the.
Yeah, now you can see almost like a plus sign.
Perfect.
And now, you've got your 15 feet of movement. You can move away from this guy.
Cool. I'll move back and look at the fireball.
I'd say you've kind of moved back into the crowd, so you've got a little bit of cover there if you need to.
Cool. Okay, great.
Cool. So that is your turn. Randir, it is your turn, and then Corona, you will be next.
Cool. How far is he from me?
I'd say you were probably about. Yeah, you were moving towards him as well, so I'd say you're about 15 feet away from him.
Okay, cool. I'm going to do a Ray of Sickness, which I'm going to rename it as Ray of Hangover.
Okay.
He's going to give him big old hangover.
That's good. I was going to cast the Fear, so these could work in conjunction in the future.
Nice.
I got.
So you make a spell attack, I think, don't you?
Yeah. I got a 2, so I'm going to drink my health potion to re-roll that one.
Power potion. God, I want one of those bottles. They're so good.
That tastes very strong.
Yeah, I think you're okay with big swigs for those.
Yeah. Whiskey's like...
Friendly reminder, Paul's drinking rum.
Whiskey, yeah, rum. I'm confused.
Oh, was it's all rum, isn't it? Was that whiskey?
Yeah.
Right, it's all rum.
I'm just wrong.
Oh, I got a 19 to hit.
Yeah, I'm definitely drunk. I normally drink easy lagers. These are all slightly more complicated.
Weissers or Berliner Weissers.
Okay, so 19 hits. You managed to connect with your Ray of Sickness.
Yeah.
Roll down. I think it's 2d8.
So I'm going to do it on the which goes third level, so it's 4d8.
Ooh, very nice. Okay, hit me.
Let me just see. There we go. Altogether, I got 12 damage. Not great, but he also needs to take a Constitution check. On a failed, he's also poisoned until the end of next turn.
I missed my dice tray. Oh, that's bad. Where's my stat sheet?
So
I don't think he's...
Constitution 16. So
Constitution. You rolled a 6, so he fails.
I hesitate to tell you that you can drink more if you want to. Yeah. You're our enemy.
Debating, because I actually no, fuck it, I'm going to re-roll that because I haven't done that yet. That seems fair.
But if we get the DM drunk, it'll be easier to win in the end. We'll just tell him we rolled 20s all the time.
Yeah, I don't think I did that during the last game. Okay.
No, I don't think I chugged a beer on stream before ever. It's a weird feeling.
It is weird.
It's
very gassy.
It feels more sense to do it in a room with other people, but yeah.
Wait, what did you roll again? What was the spell attack?
Oh, you need. So I rolled 19 to hit.
Oh, sorry,
him.
no, I'm making a con save. Sorry,
so
excuse me.
16,
Yes, 15.
You need to beat 16. So.
Yeah.
Damn it, I lost. Okay, doesn't work.
Yeah, so he's poisoned until next turn.
Poisons. That's disadvantage on everything, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. I think it is. I'll double check. Look, I love my Google search history. I just literally wrote POIS, and it's like, did you mean poisoned 5E? I'm like, yes, I did. Yeah, disadvantage on ability rolls and checks.
You could have been talking about poise, you know?
I could have, and yet my computer was like, you definitely mean nerd shit, don't you?
Yeah. He's not talking about poise and grace, you know?
Cool. Okay, so how does your hangover spell look, Randir?
It's just like a giant green beam that just like comes out of the water skin. Like I just point the water skin at him, and it's this like giant green beam just hits him.
So the wave of sickness is his beer that he's been giving to everyone.
Pretty much. I have a spell here, which is also great because I get to change the name as well, which is the Tasha's Caustic Brew, which also pretty much poisons them as well. Which I'm just gonna do the same thing.
Do you have any living customers?
Soon I will.
That's why he needs new customers all the time.
Okay. So you blast this sickly green beam at the governor, and it disappears, and he's kind of like reeling for a second, and then he just kind of like looks around as if not entirely sure what just happened. And he kind of like whips the head around. He's still like kind of piecing together what's going on, and then you can just see behind his human mask this kind of like green dribble down the side of his mouth as he kind of like doubles over and goes. And he is now poisoned, having taken a good old chunk of damage.
Which is, I want to point out that chat also wants to either help us out or hinder you as well. So like,
interesting. Yeah, okay.
By drinking as well.
Chat would like to take some drinks on. I think.
I was going to say, how will we? I feel like Lindsay in chat has basically said she will down half of her beer. So I was gonna.
I fully believe Lindsay. She's been here for so long that I don't think she's capable of lying.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I would say that give chat essentially one re-roll on either the group or you.
Yeah, and if chat, if you're drinking, post a video and tag us in it because we can reshare that shit just to show you're working. Otherwise, we'll make fun of you in the next game.
Barry's asked a relevant question: is the poison flammable? Because then when the fireball hits the poison guy, it would set on fire.
It's kind of effectively blood that's come out of his mouth.
Right. Okay. So it's not flammable.
Yeah, I would say. I wouldn't say he's now coated in a flammable material.
Yeah. No. It's the poison is just it's just magic poison essentially.
Yeah.
The brew actually has to be like scraped off yourself, so maybe the brew is flammable.
The caustic brew.
Did you roll damage, Paul?
Yes, I did 12.
12. That's okay. Grant, I did write a 12 here, and I wasn't sure if that's what that was. Cool.
Yeah, I got 2 1s.
12. Cool. So that is your hangover spell. Is that the end of your turn? Are you staying put?
Yes. Yeah. We'll just stay in the crowd. Constantly pointing to the sign saying, everybody should buy,
Dying if you like that.
Dying Light. Is Dying Light? Is it like a diet? Is it a Bud Light kind of thing? Like, are you going for?
Yeah, nice Dying Light.
I never even thought of that. It's Dying Light.
Yeah. Is it Dying LITE like Miller Light? Like
no, it's just DYING. But it's also it's a dark ale. Like.
Dying Red, Dying Light, Dying Zero.
Does that mean that his main beer is just called Dying?
Oh, yeah. I assume this is the diet version. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice job. I thought about that at all. Dying light.
Okay, Corona, you're up then. You're casting fireball.
Casting this fireball. This at 4th level, I'm gonna cast this fireball.
I think he has to make a dex saving throw, doesn't he?
Yes, he needs to. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
That's pretty good.
He has disadvantage, remember. Poison.
Oh shit, you're dead right.
Ooh, good.
Natural 20, so it's a 19.
Yeah, okay.
Which
So,
was the first roll. So dex is going to be 21.
Okay, so that's a failed save, but so you take half the damage, and the damage is 31.
But no, he succeeded in saving.
Oh wait, so sorry, a successful is in if
So he takes half damage.
He takes half damage. So half damage would be 15.5.
We can deal with this. We can deal with the 15.5. We can deal with this with a drink, if you'd like. I'm re-roll. He re-rolls.
Okay.
More beer.
We should probably
chat roll.
Yeah, we have our free chat roll without you. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, no, I only drank a quarter of my beer.
We'll go with Lindsay's reroll. So, and I still have disadvantage on this because
Lindsay's
happy to re-roll. We'll go with that. I'm not encouraging her to drink any more booze. That's entirely on her.
So 13. So it's 15 total.
She could be drinking water.
She could be drinking water.
She could be drinking water.
15 total. Okay, the spell save was 15.
So that's a success.
That's a problem. Disadvantage? Did you re-roll the disadvantage?
Yeah, it was a 17 initially.
All right, drinking the rest of my beer.
Okay.
Okay. Disadvantage reroll. An 18. Oh, and a 9. Okay, so that's dexterity. It's 11. So yeah, it's a fail.
Okay, then take 31 fucking damage, man.
Jesus Christ.
I drank it very quickly, but I will say Zobo's Go's pineapple hibiscus ginger beer was delicious as it went down.
Whereas I had this Kokomo and I poured it out and then I poured it all back inside the can because I found it so disgusting.
Oh, really? Is that bad?
Yeah, I mean, disgusting.
It's a great beer.
Yeah, just so everyone else knows, Lucy doesn't like anything with any flavor. It's not much of a...
It's so sour and and fruity and I just...
Sounds great.
I know, this is a Keelan beer all over. I'm just so you know, I never poured it.
I think it's a
beer back into the can.
I think it's a tool beer or a tall beer or whatever it is, you know.
Okay, so the governor has basically gone in in a flash. Trippy has appeared on stage, stabbed him a million times, and then just disappeared back into the ether. Then this blast of green fog just eroded his face, and then there's a pause, and then the governor kind of looks around in a stupor as to what the fuck just happened, and then you see this kind of this is on the space of half a second, this realization of what initially drew his attention, and he kind of looks up directly at the sun, and you can see his face illuminates. It's kind of and this enormous fireball erupts the entire stage, and there's a scream from the immediate crowd as they run away, but then you can hear this kind of laughter afterwards, as in oh, that kind of got me up. It's clearly a fireworks show. People are cheering, yeah, firecrackers, we love those for some reason. I never understood the appeal. And yeah, you hit the governor for 31 fire damage in this enormous explosion. The microphone is completely charred up. There's the flame kind of spirals in a heat, and he's sort of doubled over, one hand on his knee, and you can hear this kind of even from this distance, this sort of rattled breathing of Corona, do you want to do anything else with your turn? You've used your action, you have a movement and bonus action. You're about 15-20 feet away from this guy.
I'm just gonna get closer, go up to the stage, I think.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna do.
How are you getting within melee range? Are you still staying away from him? What's your distance?
Oh yeah, I guess I'm gonna go over and stand where the steps of the stage are, maybe, or going towards that to try and stop him from coming down.
Okay, you're trying to cut off his escape kind of thing.
Yeah.
Good plan.
Okay, cool. So the crowd is kind of backed away from the immediate stage. So if you run to the stairs, you will no longer have the cover of the crowd. Just so you know.
Okay. Yeah,
Is that okay?
She's hot-headed. She doesn't know what she's doing. I think that sounds
Okay,
correct.
that's like it's not a bad move. I just want you to know that, like, so the other two have kind of moved back into the crowd, and you've kind of stepped a little bit out just at the cost of losing your cover. You've now kind of cut off his escape.
Okay.
Cool. So you are now out of your surprise round.
Where I am at the thing, I want to be kind of like maybe there's just some acid splashes coming from my hands, just onto the ground, just so I just want to look a little bit scarier.
You're kind of like flicking it out as you go.
Yeah.
Just passively blasting some acid near the exit as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Even with the chaos surrounding what's happening right now, there are still people who recognize you and are staying the fuck away from you. Seemingly you've earned yourself some sort of reputation in this town.
Exactly.
Cool. So we are now out of your surprise round. So the governor is going to roll initiative, and he rolls like a dog ass. Where is his dex modifier? Okay. Cool. So top of the round. Trippy, it is your turn.
Cool. In full form, can't be doing that all the time. Normal, full-bodied me, goes up to him, and I'll do the double attack. But this time I'll use the fighter ability. That is the ability that, the action surge.
Action surge. Yeah, you get 2 actions, so that's 4 attacks if you want.
4 attacks. Yeah. So I'll run up to him and I'll give him 4 attacks.
Okay.
Again, I can roll 4 d20s or just the one.
It is. Tell you what. How about I need to pee? So how about you roll all the dice you want, and then
I'll calculate.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll say it out loud.
I was like, this sounds like the perfect opportunity for a pee, because fighters so rarely get to do lots of things, and when they do, it's just rolling dice.
All right, everyone, settle in for the maths section. Luce is already gone.
Yeah, Luce.
I'll announce it out loud, and I'll probably do the calculations wrong. And if you notice that, keep it to yourself, unless it's better to tell me that I did better. Keep it to yourselves. Right. That's an 8. That's not a good first roll. It's an 8 plus... Christ. What did I determine? It's easier to be a magic... It's easier to be a sorcerer. Let me tell you. It's not what anyone says. It's not what anyone says, but it's true. Because just magic happens.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I just have all my stuff here. Just all ready to go.
We're talking plus 9. What did I say? 8? Good. That's a 17. Plus 5. 23. So... That's 13, so it's clearly 6 better than what I had before. So if the 23 hits, it's a 29. That's a 17, which is 4 better than even that. So again, what did I say, 29? Then 33. And a 14. Christ, damn, that is massive. 14 and 9 and 5, it's 19, 28. Grand. 23 is the lowest, and then it's like a 28, a 29, and a 30-something. So that's 3 d20s. I presume all of those hit, because I think I hit and lower than that. Again, I can't confirm it. That's 4 attacks, which is 1d6, plus 5 per attack, 4d6. This is exciting. Everyone likes this.
Maths.
Yeah, I also took
the old maths time.
It's like Keelan's roll, I think it's a good peep time.
It'd be more exciting if I could show this kind of stuff on camera, but I can't.
Yeah, I would.
I could do this, and then I could go.
Oh,
you can see 2 of them, kind of. I don't know what they are. I'm trying to look through the camera. Is that a 3 and a 6?
It's a 3 and a 6, yeah.
A 3 and a 6, and the 2 you couldn't see were a 4 and a 4. So all of them have plus 5. That's plus 20. So 6 and 4 is 10. 4 and 3 is 17. I'm presuming I hit. The lowest I rolled was a 23.
Yes, they all hit.
Cool. Then you're saying 17 damage.
17.
Plus 20. 37. 37 damage.
So 37.
Yeah, it's very similar. You're welcome to get me to reroll any of the individual parts.
Here's my number, plus more than that number on top of it.
Yeah. Look, fighters are a lot more complicated than magic players. That's what I was saying while you were gone. It's easy. You cast a spell, it's one thing. You're a fighter, you're hitting people with stuff.
Fighters have, once you learn that one formula, you're fine. But that initial formula is like it's loads of little bits.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. I'd rather cast Fireball.
Yeah. You like say a thing and then have someone else deal with your shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Okay. So you spring back up on stage. How are you attacking the governor? Are you just kind of like slashing wildly?
So I guess the Bibbidi the arms, Bobbity's the arms. Bobbity's definitely the arms. Bobbity's the middle, yeah. Is he arms? You reckon is the middle the arms? In a half.
He's got a pair. I mean, they're all arms.
Yeah, they're all arms. It's hard to say. I should conceptualize this.
I mean, I'm okay with it being that Bobbity is like so good with his arms that's why he's the middle, so he can actually attack a bunch of times.
Yeah. If he was the arms, I was just thinking though, it would mean that the arms were coming out of the center of my torso. So it should.
I mean, it's totally normal and no one questions it.
Yeah, no one questions any of it. Yeah. Okay, fine. Bobbity. Bobbity. He's the second one. He attacks 4 times, but he's dual wielding, so it's just 2 hits on either arm. To a total of 37 damage. He's doing this. It's like blasting.
Yeah.
While the bottom half of me that no one can see is drinking a beer, and the top half is having an old look around. There's been stuff going on with the other halves all the time. I just wasn't allowed to tell anyone. Bottom half has been drinking most turns.
All right. Well, now we understand the sway.
Undercover, underage drinking.
Well, they're halflings. They're not necessarily underage. They're of age. They're just short. But they got into this revolution because everyone was too tall. That's their problem.
Okay, cool. So you deal 37 slashing damage to the governor.
Yeah.
His your wild chaotic slicing is kind of like carving this guy up. He's got all these kind of slash marks all over him. He's leaking this dull, dark gray liquid. And he lets out this sort of like a dull scream, like it's a low pitched sound, but it's kind of like reeling, almost like it's in your mind as much as it is out loud. And the crowd around you seems to like just kind of like recoil from the sound, and then there's a pause, and then they go yay, like give you like a big cheer, as if like they're like the crowd is on your side. They're just it's a kind of a mix between like the people being thankful for being saved and just a lot of drunk idiots seeing a fight in the street. At your second attack, and the scream let out by the governor, your combatic senses make you keenly aware of like movement in your peripheral vision, and you see like all of the guards around the city kind of like perk up and start like moving towards, and they have this kind of like weird snake-like movement, almost like they're marionette puppets. Like their arms are moving with a strange amount of force, and you see they immediately they start like shoving people out of the way, and you can see Randy, you're still pretty far behind. Looking over at the food court, you can see there were a couple of chefs like looking at the guards kind of nervously, and then looking at you and looking at the guards and drumming their fingers and looking at you and looking at the guards and just not entirely sure what's going on. So on one of your turns, you can actually make the signal to try and stop these guards from coming. Cool. Okay, it is the governor's turn.
Oh no!
So he kind of staggers back. Trippy, are you staying in melee range now?
Can I move out? No, I'm staying with the melee range.
You can, but he'll get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I'll stay.
I just realized I just assumed he got an attack of opportunity, even though it was a surprise round. He might not have. That could be something.
He missed. It's fine.
He missed, yeah, but that could be something for a Gygax award, just in case.
Yeah, that's true. If any nerds,
I'm not sure how that would work. Okay. So, the governor kind of like looks around, kind of bewildered as to what the fuck is happening, and you all in your minds hear this voice of "Who are you?" And he kind of like leans back, not quite running away, and he holds up both arms, and puts one arm in one of his hands. He's got these kind of like long, spindly forearms that have this strange kind of like sinewy muscle. You know when you have like, 60-year-old marathon runners who have this like weird condensed, they're old and frail and also incredibly muscly as well. He's got that kind of build. And he puts his forearm in his hand, and he, like, you can see his eyes wince, and he snaps his own forearm so it hangs limply. And this is all happening in a flash. And then his free hand, he sort of seems to draw energy out of the broken bone. And then Keelan, he's going to cast a spell at you now.
No.
What?
I said, "Oh no."
Oh, I thought you said got it. I'm just gonna make sure. I don't think if it's a ranged attack, he's gonna have disadvantage.
Yeah, if I'm right beside him, yeah, he will.
But I don't think it's a ranged attack. Oh, where's it gone? I had it open, but it's lost. Oh, I had it on my phone. That's why.
I wish I hadn't just opened a fresh new beer. Wow, they're all red.
Hey, like the health potion.
A lot of sours are red. I had a green beer, and then the rest of them have all been red. Although this one poured very badly. Look at that. That's all I had.
Ooh, that's a lot I had.
The nightmare.
Not gonna go well.
I've moved on to what's it called? An Outlooker. Triple sour. Triple fruited sour.
Okay, so this is a saving throw. So I don't think that counts as disadvantage. It's not a ranged attack, so you have to make a save against it.
Cool.
So the governor kind of like seems to pull this dark energy out of his now broken limb, and then flips his hand, and almost like he's flicking this energy that he's just pulled at you, and these dark ribbons shoot out and kind of slam into your chest. And Trippy, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no. Constitution. Let's just see if I have any abilities that help in any way. Does being 3 halflings help in any way?
It just means it's going to hurt thrice as badly because...
Yeah, it does. It does mean that. It does mean that. I can reroll a saving throw that I fail, but I must use the new roll. Indomitable.
That's a good one. Fighters have a surprising amount of shit going on.
I technically don't need to drink. I could just do a reroll. Great. That would have been useful before. Sorry. What did you say? Constitution.
Constitution, please.
Can I also use my reaction to do Flash of Genius again?
Does that work for saving throws?
Yeah, saving throws and ability checks.
Oh, nice. Then yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so it gives him
Are you doing finger guns again, or what's your inspiration?
I'm gonna like just pour the like dying ale into a drink and just be like
ABC always be selling. Well, closing, whatever. Cool. Yeah, so was that a +4 to the roll? Is that it?
Yeah, +4, yeah.
It's a +4, okay. So, +4, plus my Constitution saving modifier, which is +6. That's 10 already and a plus. And then I rolled a 6, so we're talking 16. It's not great. It's not bad.
16. Okay. So, these dark 10... What?
What did you get on dice?
6.
Is this a drinking thing again? Let's drink.
Well, no, I have Indomitable, which I only just realized.
You get to re-roll. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Technically, I could re-roll. Do you have to decide you're re-rolling before you find out if you succeeded or failed? Well, that seems unfair to know.
I think you need to decide. Normally with that, you have to decide when you see the
re-roll a saving throw that you fail. So I don't.
Oh, okay.
I can only use it once per long rest. So
yeah. No, I couldn't remember how that worked. Grant. So these dark tendrils bury into your chest and shoot out your back on the other side and seemingly like wrap around your neck and shoulders from behind, and you can see the governor kind of like giving you this kind of like smirk and this snarl, and you can hear this low growl in his throat, and his smile kind of like falters, and you can see like the tendrils, like half of them sort of like snap off and fray off and just kind of whoosh into the wind. So you have in fact resisted his spell.
He wasn't expecting there to be 3 of us.
He was not expecting to be 3. It seems like some of the tendrils also just like went through the trench coat and didn't actually hit anything.
Trench coat. Trench coat
ahoy. What is...
Oh, I'm glad I didn't
still take some damage from this. I just needed to remember for a split second what that die was. So that's...
Turns out being 3 halflings, you have a lot of health, so that's all right.
That's very true. So you take 20 necrotic damage from these tendrils.
Oh no, that's fine. I have more health left over than I think Huck has in general.
I mean, yeah, very different builds. You're 3 hooks on top of each other.
Yeah. That'd be a nightmare.
Cool. Yeah, as the tendrils snap off, you feel this sort of like necrotic energy sort of linger for a split second, and then you shake it off, feeling like maybe a lesser man might have felt something lingering afterwards. But you have survived the onslaught. What's he going to do? I think the governor is then seeing you shaking off this incredibly powerful ability. He's going to make a fucking run for it.
Oh.
So he's going to break melee with you, Trippy. So you get an attack of opportunity if you want it.
I do.
Yeah.
Cool. Swing your attack. Do you get three swings on regular attacks?
No, just 2. I think.
No, it's not. It's not like you get 2 attacks for an action. This is a reaction.
This is a reaction. So, is the reaction the same as an action?
No, it's not. It's separate. You get action, bonus action, and reaction. I'm thinking this is a 3 halflings thing. As a fighter thing, you only get 1 attack.
Yeah. Every time I get 1 attack, I get 2 attacks. That's part of the class.
Okay, then yes, you get 2 attacks.
Cool. It's 2 d20s.
Oh no, sorry, no. Sorry, if it's part of the class, no. As in, this isn't an action; it's a reaction. It is a different thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was the 3 halflings thing. If it's a fighter thing, you only get 1 attack.
No, well, there's the 3 halflings. The 3 halflings thing is the attacking twice. But let me just, you know what? I pulled it up.
If it's every time you swing a weapon, you get to hit twice instead, then sure. But basically, the fighter 2 attacks per action doesn't count here because it's
that I have
action.
6 arms. I actually have been counting it wrong. It might have been 3 attacks. Yeah.
You've been doing 3 attacks so far.
I've been lowballing it. Anyway, okay, good. It's 3 attacks. The wording is, and this is a homebrewed class. I'd like to remember, if you look for 3 halflings in a trench coat, you will find the class. I'm looking for the person who posted it to thank them because it's a genius class. I've wanted to do it for a long time, but I cannot find them. But they are on Reddit, on D&D. Sir Platinum is the name of the person who did it.
Cool.
They even updated it, and then someone else updated it to D&D Beyond. So you can use it if you're using D&D Beyond and paying for the hero tier and can use the homebrew things. So that's what I'm doing. The ability is as written. And again, it's homebrew, so it's ridiculous. If within melee range you make 3 attacks in each action, the ability stacks with extra attack. It's not very well written, but you make 3 attacks in each action is the word.
Yeah, so this is a reaction, not an action.
Cool. Right. So let's just say 1 attack.
Yeah, so it's 1. The thing is, it's a reaction specifically.
Yeah, that's fair. That seems fair. That is an 11 on dice, subpar. But what am I adding? Plus 9, 20.
20. That hits. You get to take a slash at this guy as he leaves your melee range.
Cool. D6 plus 9. D6 plus 5. D6 plus 5. D6 plus 5. That is a 6. Yes, so 11. 11 damage.
11. Cool. So you kind of whip across the governor's arm as he just moves out of range, and you kind of slash at his the broken forearm that he snapped to cast that spell.
If it helps, I feel like it's Boo who gets it. He's the lower half. He doesn't get to do a lot.
Yeah, I think Boo. Yeah, give this one to Boo. I think
Boo
he gets it.
Yeah.
Cool. And then he does move out of melee range, and he kind of slows from a sprint to a jog as he turns around Corona and sees you blocking the stairs, and he kind of seems to not really be sure what to do, and then he just decides to barrel past you. So he's going to actually move in and out of melee range with you.
He's going to get a faithful acid then.
You get an attack of opportunity against this guy as well.
That's acid straight to the face.
I don't know that you get to cast a spell.
Wait, it's a cantrip. Does that make any difference? And I was casting it already. I actually don't know what melee range is.
That's true. Yeah,
it's what it is.
It's a weird one. There are certain spells that are reactions, but they're usually only like shields.
Yeah, I think it has to specify that it is a reaction.
Okay, yeah, this acid splash is an at-will cantrip.
You can punch him in the face. Punch.
Instantaneous. I don't know where else it would be there. What can I like? As in, I can like, can I try and stab him or something? Is that what I can do?
If you've got a dagger, then yeah, sure.
Try to wrap the rag around your hand and punch him.
Okay, there we go.
Any kind of weapon you have.
What I think that I would have is a whatever I'm thinking my equivalent would be, say, one of these guys, but a D&D version of whatever.
Tell you what, we could say you've a stat wise it's a dagger, but it's a bottle opener that you can whip out.
Yeah, like this is what. Yeah, exactly. I think of this
corkscrew. As that's the word. I was like, it's like an opener, but for a wine, a corkscrew.
A corkscrew. Because of course that's just part of my equipment, and so I'd like to just try and like stick that right up his stupid throat.
Cool. So, dagger does 1d4 damage. So make an attack. So that's going to be a d20 plus your dexterity mod plus your proficiency.
Okay. Yes.
Because it's a finesse light weapon.
6. I forgot one of the other things you said there, but it's at least
dexterity and proficiency.
Okay. Then I think that's 16. Or sorry, 18. Wait, 16 or 18. What is it? No, it's 16. Sorry. Okay.
16. So unfortunately, your corkscrew does miss. It just past him.
Let's drink.
Do you want to drink and reset it?
Yeah, I'll drink. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
It looks like you're drinking a Bloody Mary.
It does.
Yeah, this one's delicious.
Your mustache looks like celery as you go to drink it. It looks
does
like
actually, yeah.
Bloody Mary.
That actually looks
amazing.
quite delicious.
Thank you, Keelan. So can I re-roll again?
Mm-hmm. You can re-roll your d20.
Okay.
Halfway.
That's perfect. I got that's 19.
19 absolutely hits.
Yes.
So roll 1d4 and add your dexterity modifier.
Why did I drink? I drink halfway to get a D4.
As I saw you going for it, I was like, it's not going to be worth it, man. Well, I mean, narratively, it's pretty fucking worth it.
Don't get a 1.
Just the one.
Well, our esteemed, which goes other DM Ben has said that he will also drink to reroll, and I think this is the perfect opportunity for him to reroll a D4.
Yeah. Wait, is he specifying that he wants the D4, or are we?
No, I'm going to ask him, does he want to do the D4 right now?
Okay. Because I mean, Ben's out working on a job right now, but I have no doubt that he's got some like tasty craft beers up by his laptop or something right now.
He's got a Guinness.
Nice.
Of course he does.
Nice.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Good man.
So if he's staying in a hotel, he's probably
Okay, so yeah, Lucy, re-roll your damage there. We'll figure it out.
It's 1d4. You said that's all I can do
Correct,
here.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
Unless tell you what. Actually, no. This is more interesting. So, Corona has worked in countless pubs. Surely she'd have a fairly impressive corkscrew.
Yeah.
Tell me a very, very quick tale of how she came upon the enchanted corkscrew that she's stabbing the governor with.
Oh, well, one thing, she's not known for being the best barmaid in terms of like actual service and like, you know, keeping her temper. But what she's excellent at is clearing the floor of a pub. She can cast daylight, get those fuckers out of there. She can show them the dimension door. She can let the fear hit early. And so she can also hit multiple patrons in the neck with a corkscrew at any one time. What she would do is she'd grab 3 at once, put them between the fingers, and go for a kind of like stab. And then over time, I guess there's just like molded together in her hand to create a kind of 3 corkscrew weapon that she just also uses to open 3 bottles at once because she's a great barmaid.
She's like the Wolverine of corkscrews.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
That's okay. Yeah, you've got your your Logan's corkscrew.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you've got Logan's corkscrew, which you've earned from like multiple years of like employee of the month plaques or whatever. You got this corkscrew that was initially supposed to be for uncorking 3 bottles of wine at once and ended up being your weapon for making sure everyone leaves you the fuck alone and gets out in time.
Exactly.
So your corkscrew actually does 3d4 damage. So it's 3d4 plus your dexterity modifier.
Excellent.
Ooh, nice.
So
Okay.
you have Logan's corkscrew as one of your weapons.
It's a Ben.
Oh, well, I just rolled 1 and it was 4. So if you want to multiply that by 3, I can roll 3
Okay,
more.
so that's 12 plus your dexterity modifier. This attack has turned around
Which is 0.
quite a lot.
So it's just 12.
12 plus 0.
Hang on. So Lindsay said in chat, it's diamond encrusted and not aesthetically okay. Cool. Okay. So sorry, what was your dex modifier?
It's a big ol' 0. Yeah.
No dex. Okay, so that is still 12.
No, she's not very. She's not very
or-
capable.
Yeah, I think piercing damage. So minus 12 piercing. Cool. So you kind of like the governor as he kind of slithers past, and he lets out another kind of like labored sort of cry. It sounds like if you could imagine a whale screaming, this kind of like low warble with also like a kind of a high pitch to it. The sound itself makes no sense to your ears. It's just that your mind processes it. Excuse me. God, beer is gassy. Who'd have thought? Okay, I think that's his turn. Surely he has something else. Oh, okay, yes. I've completely forgotten what this guy can do. No, okay, that is his turn. So I think his movement, he just gets a little bit further past you, Corona, so he's maybe 10 feet past you. And he's kind of like holding his gut, which is now falling apart a little bit. There's no actual innards spilling out. It's just almost like, Play-Doh's been sliced up and he's trying not to lose pieces of it. And he's kind of like limping away. So that is the end of his turn, which means it is Randir's turn. And you can see in the distance, actually, Randir, it is specifically you who noticed that the guards were starting to make their way through the food district.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm gonna shout at the top of my lungs, Kokoro, like just to. And then I'm also gonna be like, the signal, just for good measure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Kokomo.
One of the food trucks goes like, Kokomo, light the beacons. What? Kokomo, and it does kind of ripple through. And you see this kind of like sea of ball bearings spill out into the food market. A load of innocent drunk patrons immediately crease themselves and fall flat on their arses. There are broken bones, spilled chips and pizzas everywhere. But also the guards are now like they're it's full on slapstick comedy. They're falling, and like when they land, like a couple of people like surrounding them look like they've like maybe broken a few bones or whatever. Like there's like they're making much bigger impacts than it looks like they should, and some people around them are kind of like looking very confusedly as to why such a small, slender guard is making this big, massive impact when they land. So the surrounding guards they will eventually be a problem, but you've bought yourself like a few rounds of combat before you have to deal with them at all. So it is your turn. I would say that would be your free action, so you still have your action, your bonus, and your reaction.
Cool. Will this move will be later known as the McAllister move?
I'll leave it up to you. It can be during or just after. It's up to you. Yeah, like you can basically decide if you want to like say attack the guards, you can wait till they're prone and do it, or you can do it at the same time so as not to waste time.
Okay. Am I in range of the governor, or how far is he now?
Yeah, he's made a bit of a jump past Corona, so he would be 30 feet away from you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and then how far are the guard? I don't want to. I'll probably hit innocent bystanders, and
the guards are a good 100 feet away from you.
Yeah, I'm tripping over marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really don't want to There's some patrons in there
there's
possible,
definitely innocent bystanders like surrounding them. Yeah.
it's possible customers, so I don't want to hit them.
No, sorry, not innocent. Possible customers.
Yeah, so I guess I'll do Firebolt, which is my Artificer Initiate cantrip. It's 120 feet, so it's just a firebolt, 2d6 damage. I need to get a.
Who are you casting that at? The governor?
The governor, yeah. So,
cool. That is a ranged spell attack, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a 5, so I'm gonna go for the old drinky drink there.
Nice. Health potion.
How
long ago did you mix that potion?
This
was
was
the kind of thing you'd put in a bottle and you'd be like, yeah, it's been 3 years now.
This was also the triple like shot of Kraken and cranberry juice. So yeah, that's pretty strong.
I mean, if it's got cranberry juice in it, then it is a zombie.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, here you go. You guys can write your own jokes. It's jokes about cranberries, zombie, rum.
I got a 15. I'm just gonna pass on. I got a 15 plus 8, so 23.
Okay, that hits. You hit with your firebolt. What's the damage?
2d10. So 12 damage.
12. Nice.
Cool. And I guess I'll start walking. If I've got movement, I'm going to start walking towards the guards as well.
Okay, so you start advancing on the governor and sort of like, how does your fire
on the guards? Sorry, so I'm going to shoot.
You're walking towards the guards.
Yeah, going to shoot the governor and then kind of turn around and then like try head off the guards.
Okay, cool. So how does your firebolt look before you start moving away from him?
So yeah, it's essentially just like me taking a big swig and then like putting up a lighter or putting up like a match in front of it and then just like spewing a fire like thing at him.
Nice.
Cool. So a flaming loogie.
This dying light is very useful in many ways.
It's my focus tool as well. So it's like if while holding it, I get a +1 to like most of my ability checks and stuff like that as well.
Nice.
It's a pretty cool one. The Artificer is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really looked into it before.
That's because they're a ridiculous class.
Yeah.
Fun though.
Yeah, this is the Alchemist. There's also the Artillerist and also Battle. I think the Armorer. Yeah. So
that's the one that I'd looked up actually. Okay, we're running a bit long, so might start hammering into this. So, Randir, that is your turn. You start walking towards the guards. Corona, you kind of whirl around on the governor, prepare to unleash your assault, and he's facing away from you, holding his gun, and he kind of whips his head around, moving inhumanly. And it's kind of like just strange erratic movements, and like you were like you've been around long enough to know that no, he's recoiling from his previous attack. He shouldn't have time to breathe, and yet somehow he's moving in this sort of erratic fashion. And he grips his broken arm again and starts to pull this kind of like chaotic energy from it, and looks you in the eyes and just kind of lets out this kind of like raspy sort of like hero, and he is going to cast the same spell at you again. So I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. And mechanically, just to explain, this creature is in fact making legendary actions, which is I'm not cheating. He's allowed to attack multiple times during combat.
Wow.
That's a 22.
22. Okay.
I got 19.
So you have managed to save. Congratulations. Where's it gone? 12. Cool. Yeah, you managed to make the save. Which means
I've
you take
messier men than you.
yeah, you're like looking him dead in the eyes. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna rebuff it as if it's off the chest, like
Eh.
You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I need you to take 25 necrotic damage.
Oh.
25 necrotic damage. Oh god.
Yeah.
It's bad.
So there's like this similar, like kind of like the black ribbons crackle around as they pierce through you. But you manage to shake off most of them.
Okay, so actually when she was going like, I've dealt with messier men than you, I'm like just and almost because she was like being a bit of a dick, it hurts more. What was that, 24 did you say?
25 necrotic damage.
I wasn't meaning to, but no, give me an extra. Okay, that's fine. Still got loads of points. It's fine.
Today, Lucy learned how squishy sorcerers are.
Yeah, that's the other side. You don't want to be hit by things.
Cool. Okay. This kind of like the human mask he has still has his permanent grin on it, but even behind that, you can see his face kind of like falters a little bit. The nasal flaps sort of like dip into a frown as he's sort of sad that his last ditch assault seems to have been shrugged off. And it is now your turn. You have him dead to rights in front of you. He is just outside of melee range. He moved like maybe 5 feet outside, so he's 10 feet away from you.
Can I ask him this maybe stupid? Would I know that is he a humanoid or no? Like, should I know that?
He's got to be human.
I was looking to charm person.
No, he would be considered a monster. He's not a humanoid.
Okay. Yeah.
He's bipedal, like he's got arms and legs, but he is not considered, like as in, like a giant isn't considered a humanoid.
Aren't they?
Yeah, it's like humanoid is basically player characters, effectively.
Right. Okay.
It's like what we consider humanoid is not mechanically humanoid.
Yeah, you'd think I'd know, but
no, that's caught me a couple of times because I'm like, yeah, humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head.
Can I just fireball him again? I honestly,
you can blast him. You have to like blast just in front of him so that it doesn't hit you. But I'd say you can definitely aim it so that you don't take any damage.
Yeah, but also I think
20 foot. It's a 20-foot radius.
Like this.
Sorry, Lucy. Say again.
Sorry.
What did you say there?
No, I was gonna say. I mean, character when she's hot tempered. Like if she gets a little singed, I say that's like
oh yeah,
in character. So I'm just gonna.
That's completely
fire
fair.
right up.
So it's what, a dexterity saving throw to survive this thing?
Yes.
Ooh, that's not good. The governor rolls a 6, which I presume is a big old fail.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that's a big old fail.
Okay, so he kind of like starts to limp away, and you like, as in dead to rights, like you as a sorcerer, you're like, I can't fucking miss, and so you blast this motherfucker with like a spirit bomb fireball. Roll your damage for this thing.
Yeah, that's 28.
28. Okay. Are you using any sorcery points? I don't know how they work.
I also don't know how they work, so I will say no.
Okay.
I don't even know what that is. I kind of remember
one of those things I keep meaning to actually just spend time to look up how they work, but I'm like, I don't know how they work. I just presume the sorcerer knows how they work. That's fine.
Sorry. But yeah.
What was the damage? 20.
Would sorcerer points make it more damage?
What did you cast? Fireball.
Fireball.
If you did a twin spell, you could cast it twice. But I think you haven't done that, so the sorcery points don't add any damage afterwards.
28 anyway.
28. Okay.
Jesus, yeah, nice.
That's very good. Okay, so you blast this motherfucker like near point blank range with your impressive fireball. Randy and Trippy, you see this kind of like perfect silhouette of Corona kind of standing there like with her hand out, leaving like her uniform billowing in the wind, seemingly unsinged from the flames she's created.
I wonder if it looked like it came out of the dish rag as well. And I was like,
you towel whipped this guy.
You've got to go home. Yeah.
Towel whipped him with the sun, huh?
Yeah.
This is a barmaid that I think that I should hire.
Yeah, well, it's not afraid of a couple of explosions. Okay. So he is still alive, but he is now limping and singed, and he's pretty fucked looking. He's like leaving chunks of himself behind, and you can like the sound actually audibly coming out of this thing is like this dry rasp, and the three of you can hear in your minds like this kind of pleading of like, no, please, oh, I almost finished. But now it is the top of the round. Trip B, it is your turn again. You are on the stage. Your prey has just gotten away from you. He's singed. Corona is standing between you and him, but he is within. He was within 20 feet of you, so you can make it to him.
Cool. All right. I'm gonna lash towards him and jump and lash towards him. Run. I'm gonna run at him, and in a kind of like Terminator.
Okay, so we've covered that you're moving towards him.
Yeah. But it's important to how I run. I'm running, but I'm at a diagonal. Not moving my arms. It's
so you're Naruto running. I've got it.
Yeah. It's kind of Naruto. Yeah, kind of Terminator. It's kind of like a robot might run, or Terminator 2, I guess. It's a creepy run. That's what I'm doing. That's essentially what I'm setting here. And then, how many times can I do that breaking into loads of halflings? Now, I'll just do the, I don't think I can do the action surge again. That's short rest, so I can't do anything else about that. So let's just blast into him.
Yes, unless you get multiple. I don't think you get multiple at this level.
I don't.
No, then yeah, it's short rest. You...
So every time I attack twice or 3 times, I've discovered, so it's like 3 attacks. Or 2 attacks. 2 attacks as well.
If you get 3 attacks per regular attack, then you get 6 attacks per regular action.
Yeah, there's 3 of us. You know what? Let's just say 2 attacks.
Like, fighter gets 2 attacks per action.
Do they?
And for each attack, your halfling gets 3 swings. So that's 6 per action.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay, 6 attacks. Roughly. Yeah. Move and attack. And all of Bibbidi Bobbidi and Boo, all of our short swords are blasting out. I mean, in a way, what's happening is Bobbidi and Boo are stabbing forward through the coat. Like,
right.
The other one, actually, what did I established? I established that Bobbidi was the arms. Bobbidi's the arms. So there's 2 attacks coming from my shoulders, and there's 2 attacks coming from my legs, both straight forward, and then the arms are going in.
This is by far where we've spent the most world building this episode. The arc of your different arms.
Look, I've never played 3 characters that are at the same time, right?
So, in the interest of brevity, roll 1d20 and we'll just multiply it by 6.
19!
Fuck.
19 plus whatever my modifiers are.
Okay, what's your... Actually, do you know what? That hits. 19 is at least the AC, so it's only going to get higher from there. So, roll your damage and similarly we'll multiply it. So...
Oh, so just 1d6?
1d6 plus your strength.
Plus 5. So, that is 10. That's an easy multiple.
10 times 6?
Yes.
So you do 60 damage with 1 action?
It feels like a lot. It does
feel like a lot.
It feels too much.
I mean, you did roll quite well as well, and I feel like if you roll the dice individually, it would be less impressive.
Yeah, almost certainly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, whatever.
How do you kill the governor?
Like I said, that my knees stab him.
Okay, without going
from my knees.
Too deep into the angle of your attacks and more focus on the theatrics.
Yeah. My knees stab him.
At a 45-degree angle.
And my shoulders stab him, and then the 2 arms come in and slash him in the middle like that.
Okay, cool. So you leap from the stage, and Bobbidi and Boo seem to like sort of pin the governor in place, and then Bibbidi slices him in half. Literally like the top half kind of... So he's almost inverted on himself, and his top half skids along the ground. And
I'm almost surprised that's happened, because I'm used to a top half being used. Yeah, I'm like, oh, is he still alive?
Bibbidi's gone above and beyond here. So the 3 of you hear this sort of like the sound of almost like gas escaping out of a whoopee cushion almost. But in your mind, you hear this like almighty scream, sort of like akin to a banshee down the bottom of a deep well. And Randy, as you're advancing towards the guards who are struggling to pick themselves up, their heads snap back and they clutch onto their foreheads, and then the scream sort of starts to echo out further and further out into the city. And then as they writhe, they kind of like go limp. And then there's this kind of like sudden putrid smell from the governor as sort of like gas starts evaporating from his form. And for a second, the crowd around you looks utterly horrified. Like they're like picking up debris and like broken limbs, and like there's blood spattered everywhere. And then you hear this one distant ksk, and then a load of lads just on the edge of the stage have just kind of like produced this like crate of cans. They're like, sound. We keep going. So
Don't mind if you do.
Crack.
yeah,
Crack.
and then from nowhere you are all handed this like fresh mug of ale, and with that the hierarchy is overthrown. You are all not like your money's no good anywhere in this town. Corona, you are like batting aside job offers throughout the entire night. The party goes on till like the wee hours of 3 mornings from now. Randir, you're inundated with people asking about your beer. It's like, was that the daylight? Was that the stuff that I saw when the bloodbath happened on stage? Give me some of that. And there's like, you can tell when people are drinking it, they want to throw up, but no one wants to be the person that can't handle your drink. So like people are hand over fist buying it. And then like towards the end of the night, Trippy, you see people kind of like moving with your kind of like awkward swagger. People are like impersonating you. Seemingly it's like it's become the hard man walk. Like people who move like that are not to be fucked with. And in like in no short time at all, the three of you have become like absolute heroes of the town of Bag of Cans. Names never to be forgotten. Legacies to live on forever. But probably never to be mentioned again in homebrew history. Until the next Paddy's Day one shot.
Yes.
Yeah. Woo. So many customers.
I hope that's your class is effectively salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
Definitely. I hope. It at some point I hope homebrew like our characters come across a small kind of tavern where Randor and Corona are like running a pub.
Yeah.
Clear.
Yeah, one person trying to sell beer as much as they can, and one person trying to get people the fuck out of the pub. It's like, how are you business partners?
And Bibbidi Bobbidi and Boo can be the bouncers, you know?
Yeah, at different doors.
Yeah. If anyone spits out his disgusting beer, I kick them out. So they're too afraid to get kicked out of the pub, so they enjoy his disgusting beer.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say the Cave-In Brewing Company has many other actual good beers. This is just Randir's one that he invented, and he's just like, I'm definitely going to sell this.
All around your beards are awful.
Oh, these are not the ones that he invented. Just the Dying Light one is the one he invented, which is awful.
Cool. Okay, that's gonna just about do us for our Paddy's Day special. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you especially to those in the audience who drank along and re-rolled some stuff for the players. That probably helped things turned out as they did. Don't forget, you can find more Homebrew on Homebrew Quest on YouTube. You can find our podcast on your various podcast apps, Homebrew Quest also. Find us on social, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Tumblr and TikTok, maybe? I don't know. Try and find out. You can also find a link to our Discord at the top of our Twitter page. If you go to if you go to Dakota Irish, you can buy some Jesus Christ, words. This is what happens when you make me drink beer. You can get a 10% discount on Dakota Irish merch through our discount code Homebrew10. Please consider donating to Mass Eye Ireland. The link is in the bottom of our description. I think the link on our video works as well. No, where am I getting that from? No, just follow the link in the description. We will be back 2 weeks' time from now, 8 p.m., as we are every 2 weeks. Ben will be back in the DM seat, so we will be much more structured and professional. And I'll be back hassling him. Hopefully we get Paul.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Wes.
Hopefully we get Paul back again playing again. This was great. Enjoyed having Paul at the table.
It was great to be here.
Paul.
Huh?
Good fun.
Back in my hole, yeah. Back in my hole.
Yeah, we'll unplug his mic as soon as this ends. Cool. Thank you again so much for joining us. We will see you in 2 weeks. I hate stealing Ben's line. Bye. See you next time. I should have thought of something better. I'm just gonna wave till Paul cuts it out.
Yeah.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Royal wave.